Good afternoon, y'all. I posted the link in the comment section and I pinned it. And so if you guys read the description, this is trigger warning content. So if things of this nature easily triggers you, I would advise not to watch this stream. If anybody wants to hit the panel, please hit the link. I would like at least 2 other people up here with me while we do this content, just to get everybody's perspective of the situations that I'm going to be going over today. So, before we get into the content of today, basically, we're going to go over a couple articles. We're going to go over a couple definitions just to get a full understanding of what today is going to be about. If I say anything that you don't agree with and you want to push back on it, feel free to hit the link, but today might not be the day you want to do that. So, as I said before, the link is in the comment section. It's pinned to the top. So if you want to hit the link, you can. So first, we're going to start off with the definition of misogynoir. So it is the dislike, contempt for, or ingrained prejudice against Black women. So throughout this conversation today, one thing we are going to be tackling is misogynoir, and we're going to be tackling some other stories that are recent and a couple updates. So first thing we're going to read, I'm going to put it up on the screen. Okay. Hey, y'all. Hey to everybody that's coming in. We just went over the definition of misogynoir so far, which is the disdain, hatred, or prejudice against Black women. If you do want to hit the panel, the link is in the comment section at the top. So the first thing we're going to read is this article from theconversation.com. It was written in 2019, May 13th. The unique harm of sexual abuse in the Black community. So, what makes R. Kelly's alleged sexual abuse of Black girls different from that of other big-name alleged perpetrators like Woody Allen? What are the different pressures faced by Anita Hill and Christine Baisley Ford regarding their testimonies of alleged sexual and gender mistreatment by Supreme Court Justices Clarence Thomas and Brett Kavanaugh? As the founder of the Me Too movement, why is Tarana Burke, a Black woman, getting death threats from Black men? The underlying core of this question is, what really makes trauma traumatic? Decades of research on trauma or physical, sexual, or psychological violence have shown the same thing. Victimization hurts people. Sexual assault in particular can be painful to all who experience it. However, a trauma expert who has studied the effort of violence for over a decade, I have found that there is a unique harm for Black people and other minorities whose perpetrators are of the same minority group. To understand this harm, I created a cultural betrayal trauma theory. The general idea of cultural betrayal trauma theory is that some minorities develop what I call intracultural trust. Love, loyalty, attachment, connection, responsibility, and solidarity with each other to protect themselves from a hostile society within group violence, such as a Black perpetrator harming a Black victim, is a violation of this intracultural trust. This violation is called cultural betrayal. Okay, so we're going to take a pause there, and I'm going to say if anybody has any questions about what we're reading, please put your questions in the comment section, and I will happily read them aloud and answer them for you. Okay, so this here is the table of what this psychologist defines as, oh, my screen stopped sharing, so let me fix that. Okay, so this is the table for the harms of cultural betrayal. So At the top, we have societal trauma. That is the overall blanket of trauma. Then under societal trauma, we have cultural values. So those are the values, morals, and basically social norms that are instilled in you by your culture and by your environment. So then from the cultural values, we go across to here to intercultural trust. So it's a deeper trust of people who are in your minority group simply because they are in your minority group. So this right here says violence breaks trust, and it comes over here to cultural betrayal trauma. So both the intercultural trust and the cultural betrayal trauma gives way to the intracultural pressure, which is the pressure put on, since we're Black people, we're going to speak from a Black person's logic or standpoint. As a Black person, you feel pressure from other Black people within your community to do what they see is right. So this cultural betrayal trauma leads to abuse outcomes such as PTSD, disassociation, anxiety, other, and then it leads to also cultural outcomes, internalized prejudice, de-identification, distinct shame, other. So these characteristics are normally characteristics of abuse, domestic violence, and just basically any trauma. So, cultural betrayal trauma, which is simply within group violence and minority populations, is associated with many outcomes that go beyond things that are typically studied with trauma, such as post traumatic stress disorder. It includes some things not often thought about with trauma, such as internalized prejudice, like a Black person believing the stereotype that all Black people are violent. Intercultural pressure is another outcome of cultural betrayal trauma. With intercultural pressure, people who experience cultural betrayal trauma are often demanded to protect the perpetrators and the minority group as a whole at all costs, even above their own well-being. With the mandate of don't betray your race, intercultural pressure punishes people who speak out about the cultural betrayal trauma that they have endured. So basically, that paragraph is just simply saying that, obviously there's a no snitch code in certain communities, and that this is something that's very deep seated, deep rooted within the community. Okay, so in a recent study, I tested cultural betrayal trauma theory in youth due to increased risk for trauma and mental health problems in the transition into adulthood. I surveyed 179 college women online in 2015. Over 50% of these young women were victims of trauma. Just under half experienced psychological violence. 14% endured physical violence, and almost 1 in 3 women were victims of sexual violence. Of the young women who were victimized, over 80% reported that their least form of intercultural pressure. This included their ethnic group, suggesting that what happened to them may affect their minority group's reputation. An example of this could be a Black woman who has been been awed by a Black man being told that she should not go to the police because it will make all Black people look bad. Additionally, I found that controlling for age, ethnicity, interracial trauma, cultural betrayal trauma, and intercultural pressure were associated with symptoms of PTSD, meaning cultural betrayal trauma and intercultural pressure were unique contributing factors of mental health problems in ethnic minority college women. So this woman here, she is the founder of the Me Too movement. Just give me a second. I'm about to go get my coals off the stove, and I will be right back to finish the article. Okay, let's scroll down. As I analyzed the findings, I was struck by several things. Within the group, nature of trauma includes a cultural betrayal and minorities that affects mental health. Trauma gives us only part of the picture. Group level responses and cultural norms via intercultural pressure impact mental health. Policy change that combats inequality, such as changes in education, healthcare, law enforcement, and the judicial system, can benefit minorities who experience trauma. These findings have implications for interventions. Such therapy can address the very real threats of discrimination and the necessity for Intracultural pressure. At the same time, these interventions can use intracultural trust to promote positive mental health. Additionally, evidence for informed feminist approaches such as relational cultural therapy might benefit people who are exposed to both trauma and societal inequality. The body of research to date suggests that cultural betrayal may be a unique harm within violence in minority populations, including the Black community. As such, the alleged sexual traumas perpetrated by R. Kelly and Clarence Thomas have a cultural betrayal that isn't found in Woody Allen's alleged abuse. Moreover, Black men's death threats against Tarana Burke are intercultural pressure that is laced with misogynoir or sexism in the Black community. Research that incorporates societal inequality can help us understand what makes trauma traumatic. In doing so, our social reactions and therapeutic interventions can ultimately be effective for Blacks and other minorities who are exposed to trauma. So that is the end of that article. I'm gonna give y'all a couple seconds to maybe ask any questions in the comment section if you have any questions. I'll give a couple seconds for anybody who wants to join the panel to join. I'll post the link into the comment section once again. But so a quick summary of that article basically is saying that Black women or Black people in general face this intercultural pressure to not express when they are being harmed in fear that it would make the community look bad. So putting their own well-being to the side in hopes of helping further the community when it really is detrimental to their health, their mental health, and their stability where they are. So we're gonna go over a couple other articles, and then I'm gonna play a video for you guys. And the video is pretty triggering. If you can't handle something like the video, I will be giving like a brief summary of the video before I play it. And within the video, there are 3 cases or 3 stories or other videos inside of this one video. The video is on Chris Logic's page. If anybody wants to go check her out, she's a very cool young lady. And so I will be using her video simply because I don't have the link to the videos that she was reacting to. So we're gonna go over this article first. Okay, so this article is about the barriers that may prevent Black women from reporting sexual assault. This was written in February 19th of 2020. Okay, give me 2 seconds. Okay, so here we are. This is February 19th, 2020. So the statistics are daunting. 22% of Black women and girls will be AR'd at some point in their lives. For every 15 Black women who are assaulted, just 1 reports her rape. While there are a number of reasons why any victim of sexual assault do not report their abuse, for Black women and girls, there are unique barriers to both reporting their assault and seeking help. A new documentary, On the Record, explores many of these issues. The film focuses on the allegations of sexual harassment and are made against music mogul Russell Simmons by former music executive Drew Dixon and others. Among other issues, the documentary highlights the enormous pressure that Black women feel not to report Black men for their sexual assault. Of course, this is not the only reason why a Black woman or girl may not report their or Misogynoir, which we discussed in last week's blog post, also plays a role, including, according to a report from Georgetown University Law Center, adults view Black girls as less innocent and more adult-like than their white peers. In addition, Black girls are often viewed as being more knowledgeable about sex and less in need of protection from predators as compared to their white peers. So we're going to read those two sentences one more time, okay? So, according to a report from Georgetown University Law Center, adults view Black girls as less innocent and more adult-like than their white peers. In addition, Black girls are often viewed as being more knowledgeable about sex and less in need of protection from predators as compared to their white peers. I just wanted to let that sink in for everybody. So, the false belief that can be traced, this false belief can be traced as far back as the 1600s when European travelers to Africa were shocked by the way that the women were dressed, and continued through slavery in the U.S., where slave owners justified their awe of enslaved women by claiming that the Black women have insatiable sexual appetites. These stereotypes play out in disturbing ways, as Black women and girls are rarely seen as victims of sexual abuse. In R. Kelly's 2008 trial for child Kitty P, one juror stated that he voted to acquit R. Kelly because he did not believe the testimony offered by Black women because of how they dress and act. In 2015, Oklahoma police officer Daniel Halsclaw was convicted of multiple counts of R. He specifically targeted Black women with the expectation that no one would believe his victims. So you can see from those two paragraphs that Black women are actively being targeted because these predators know that it's very rare for society to believe a Black woman when she says she's been harmed. So that is a serious problem that needs to be addressed within this community. And that starts with Black men making it seem like these Black girls are less in need of protection and more knowledgeable about sex. Okay, so there are other reasons why Black women and girls may not report their abuse to the authorities. The relationship between the Black community and law enforcement is fraught with abuse and mistrust, with issues such as police brutality, mass incarceration, and over-policing of Black neighborhoods. Black women do not have the privilege of ignoring this reality when deciding whether to seek help and protection from the law enforcement. For good reason, many Black women and girls do not trust the system and may avoid reporting their sexual assault for that reason. Related to this, many Black women are under pressure to not report Black men and subject them to the legal system. According to the national study, 91% of Black women are sexually assaulted by Black men. According to the national study, 91% of Black women are sexually assaulted by Black men. And sir, if you think that I've been brainwashed and you want to go against the statistics, you can hit the link and you can come up here and fight for your cause if that's what you want to do. 75% of those attacks are by someone known to the victim, such as a family member or friend. Under these circumstances, Black women and girls may face both internal and external pressure not to report their attackers. It may be even seen as betrayal to expose a member of their community to the police, as there is often a strong imperative to protect Black men after centuries of oppression and discrimination. And I find it very funny that it's a strong imperative to protect these Black men, to protect Black men in general. However, Black men do not have this same type of mindset towards Black women. The love that Black women give to Black men is very, very unconditional, while the love Black men give to Black women is extremely conditional. You can't do anything they don't like. You can't say anything they don't like. You can't not be a part of their family, and even if you are a part of their family, they still may not protect you. So it's very ironic that Black women see the need to protect black men, but black men don't reciprocate that. And then when Becky wants to go out and march with them, and they're like, well, she gonna stand in front of police to protect me because she know they're not gonna shoot at me if she in front of me. Okay, well, black women have been standing in front of the police to protect you, knowing that regardless of if they stand there or not, that police officer will most likely shoot them. So which one holds more weight? Okay, so the next paragraph. As a society, we must work to help ensure that Black women and girls are able to receive the help that they need if they are sexually assaulted, regardless of whether they choose to report their abuse. At Black Burn Center, we serve all victims of sexual violence and other types of crime and abuse. In addition, there are organizations that specifically focus on sexual violence within the Black community, such as Black Women's Blueprint, Rights for Girls, Girls for Gender Equity, equity. Sasha Center, Sisters of Colors Ending Sexual Assault, Insight National, A Long Walk Home, Trans Women of Color Collective. So if you know anybody who may need some of these resources, here are some of the resources that you or a loved one can use to be able to get help. But so that's the end of this article. So basically, a short summary of this article is just giving the reasons that Black women may not report a sexual assault, and our reasons vary differently from women of other races. So that plays a part into why we don't report. So let's see, we're going to go into another article before I get into these videos. Here we go. Okay, this next article is from the Maryland Coalition Against Sexual Assault. This is about race loyalty and sexual assault of Black women. It was written on August 12th of 2020. Well, it was published that day. So this article is pretty short. This is going to be the last article I do before we get into these stories, and then the rest of the articles that I have can be saved to after the stories. Okay, so by Chelsea Hood, undeserved, I can't speak. By Chelsea Hood, undeserved populations policy advocate and training assistant. Despite the considerable rate of sexual assault among African American women and the consequential negative mental health effects, African American women are less likely to disclose experiences of sexual assault and receive less support when they do disclose. When it comes to disclosure, it is crucial to fully comprehend the communal influence that negatively impact Black women who are survivors of sexual misconduct. According to the Time's Up Foundation 2020, for every Black woman who reports AR, at least 15 do not report. It is common for Black women to be told that they should maintain the desire to shield Black men from dominant societies like the criminal justice system in terms of protecting Black males who have perpetrated sexual violence towards Black women. There are cultural considerations that can be a major detriment regarding the healing process of victims. Although sexual violence cuts across all different races and cultural backgrounds, there are additional barriers that exist for the unrepresented groups, including African American women who experience sexual assault. An additional barrier that heavily impacts help-seeking behaviors for sexual assault is race loyalty. Race loyalty is an African American woman's decision to withstand abuse and to make conscious self-sacrifice for what she perceives as the greater good of the community, but to her own physical, psychological, and spiritual detriment. Bent Goodley, 2001, page 323. So you're going to read that sentence again. Race loyalty is an African American woman's decision to, quote unquote, withstand abuse and make a conscious self sacrifice for what she perceives as the greater good of the community, but to her own physical, psychological, and spiritual detriment. Okay? So this is what I was talking about the other day in my debate in my PowerPoint when I said that Black women are more likely to put their sex-based issues to the side in order to continue to uphold and fight against their race-based issues. Societal expectations within the Black community have caused Black women to feel that they should constantly put other people's needs before their own, and to have the perception that racism will always be a more serious matter than sexism. This internal barrier undermines the women's rights to be able to receive assistance and have the ability to utilize legal services based on distrust between African American males and law enforcement. Being acutely aware of police brutality and other forms of injustice, the woman forgoes her needs for fear of the criminal justice system. Brent Goodley, 2004. Because of this dynamic, it is imperative to be knowledgeable and aware of culturally informed interventions and advocacy efforts. So, a good example of this would be Megan Thee Stallion when Tory Lanez shot her in the foot. When the police arrived, she stated after the fact that she did not initially tell the police about the weapon or him shooting her because she feared police brutality would rain down on him. So she put her sex-based issue to the back burner, her personal issue, her physical health to the back burner in order to protect a Black man who had no intention of protecting her and put her in the line of danger. Okay. Elected Baltimore City prosecutor Marilyn Mosby observed that there has been an increase in prosecution, tougher penalties, and the expansion of using mandatory minimum sentences. Mosby, 2019, page 1. It is important to recognize that not all survivors feel empowered by this, and African American sexual assault survivors may seek other forms of justice. Civil laws are available and can provide other forms of relief in addition to or instead of criminal sanctions. It is critical that we provide survivors with support and resources needed to access these remedies. Maryland Coalition Against Sexual Assault Legal Institute is available to provide survivors information about all legal options in civil and criminal. So this last paragraph, we're gonna skip it because it's mainly about, what type of options you have if you don't want to pursue like criminal charges and stuff. And it also has hyperlinks to certain checklists for survivors or help resources. So okay, so right now I'm gonna start playing these videos for y'all. As I said before, these videos are very triggering. You may not, if you find this hard to handle, I advise to not watch. However, it would be good. It's good for you to watch. Like, you should watch it because this is something that needs to be known. So I'm gonna play the video first. So the video is about 31 minutes long. However, I'm gonna skip to certain parts in the video that I need. Let me go on my phone. Okay. Okay, so as I said before, you can find the video on Chris Logic's channel. It's called Black Girls and Pedophilia. So it's a story about three girls. Each girl has different situations, and the first girl that we're going to hear of is a 12-year-old afraid to go to her father's house. So we're going to play this video. As I said before, it's kind of triggering. Let me see. Is it playing yet? Today. I'm gonna start it over from the beginning of that segment, and we're gonna listen.
His little 10-month-old daughter. At 10 months, this man attempted to R his little black daughter and ended up taking her life in the process. So
I don't know why it's doing that. Come on, little video. Maybe I need to go on YouTube and pull it up.
we're going to definitely be discussing the details of that story, but I'm going to insert the clips so you guys can see for yourselves.
Little black girl. She's a black girl. Get on her. Please help our family today. I don't want to go back. These cops don't touch me. I don't want to go back. I don't go live. I don't put my family business out here. But I've been dealing with this for 2 years. I watched them take my baby away and give her to somebody that she already told them was touching on her.
The fact that the only way that this auntie could bring attention to the fact that her little 12-year-old niece is being molested is by bringing it to social media is just so sad, and it's really telling. Oftentimes, Black men say the system is so unfair when it comes to us and our children. They love to snatch our children from us, but look at this situation. This little girl has reported to the authorities now on several occasions that her father has been touching her, and still nothing is done. So if something like this is possible, how is it that the system is so-called unfair to Black men?
Don't let me go back, please. I don't want to go back. He didn't help me at all. I'm so sorry, baby. I tried everything. I don't want to go back. I tried everything, boy. Please, Auntie, please. Oh my God. Please, I can't do this. I don't want to go back with him. I'm gonna die to go back with him. No, baby, you're not gonna die. You're not gonna die. You're not gonna die. I promise.
This is a 12-year-old that you're looking at right now. A 12-year-old that's being tormented so badly by her father that she would rather die. She would rather take her life than to return back with that monster. And this little girl is not uncommon in the Black community. If anything, this little girl is starting to become the norm in the Black community.
I love you so much. Everything that happened. I'm never gonna see all you. I do. I don't want to spend the rest of my life with. I don't. I want to stay here. What is going to happen to my grandma? I'll never see her again. And that will break my heart. No, I will care. Honey. I'm so sorry, baby. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. I don't want to. People don't care about anybody besides themselves and their family. If they lost their kids, they would care for them because of me.
And as sad as that was, at the age of 12, this little girl already knows about the system. She says, these people don't care about me. If it was them or their children, they would care. They would take me away from this monster. But these people, meaning the system, they don't do anything to protect me. So not only does the system collectively fail little Black girls, the Black community fails little Black girls. And the little bit of protection that the system does offer these little Black girls, the Black community is fixated with trying to take that away by screaming, abolish the police, defund the police, get rid of all the protection that these little Black girls have. Yeah, get rid of them. Leave them with their attackers. Leave them with their molesters. Because Black men are tired of going through police brutality. So the fact that at the age of 12,
so I'm going to pause the video there for right now just to say a couple things. So the mother of the child is never mentioned. So I'm assuming that the mother is probably deceased. The mother is never mentioned. And the little girl lives with her father. The father was the one who was attacking her. And she had gone to the police several times. Her auntie had tried to file a report and go to the police. The police then told them that because he did not stick his pee-pee in her, that there was nothing really that they could do and that they would have to send her back to her father's house this day. This is the second time that the little girl has run away from home to her aunt's house to avoid this man.
This girl has a understanding of how unprotected she is just really just so heartbreaking.
I'm so sorry, Lord. I'm trying. I don't know what else to do. I try everything. We went to the cops. She went to SVU. The FBI contacted us saying they had evidence on her. That her dad did something to her. Nobody's helped us. I hate that. Don't listen to me. Please help my family. My niece was getting abused by her dad. She was cutting her friends because she was scared. And they sent her back. And I need help today. I don't come on here. I don't put my family business out here, but look at my baby. I don't give a fuck no more.
And guys, something that I have to point out about a lot of the comments and the responses that people were making to this video, a lot of people were kind of asking, where's her mother? Why would her mother allow her to go off with a man like this? Why did her mother choose to birth her from a man like this? Where's her mom?
So we're going to pause the video right there since we're talking about the little girl's mother, as she was not mentioned anytime during this stream that the auntie posted. But as you can see, they're saying, why would the mother let the little girl go off with a man like this? That man is her father. You have to be truly, truly demented to touch your own child. Touching children in general is bad, but your own flesh and blood, a child that you helped bring into this world, that's the child you choose to touch. That's the child you choose to attack, your own. When this child is supposed to trust you as her father, when she looks up to you as her father, when your father is supposed to be your daughter's first love. And he has this girl in tears, bawling, threatening to take herself away in order to escape this situation since they are not getting help from the police. And if the aunt were to keep the child past this day when CPS comes to get her, the aunt will be arrested for kidnapping. We do understand the laws, correct? So her aunt is at her wit's end trying to protect this little girl. Yet there is no help in sight.
Where's her mom? Where's her mom? Everyone's finding every excuse to blame her mom. And yeah, I'm like, where's her mother? But her mother could have passed away for all we know. Her mother could be in a mental institution somewhere. We don't know what happened to her mother. And I'm not trying to necessarily excuse her mother wherever she is. I'm just curious as to How come when something goes wrong, when it's a single mother raising the child by herself and something goes wrong with the child, no one ever asks, where was the father? Why did the father impregnate a woman incapable of raising children? You know, what why didn't the father come and take the kid? Where's the father? Where's the father? Where's the father? I don't see that same type of energy. Whereas in this situation, all people can do, instead of attacking her molester, instead of attacking the demon that is her father, that is doing this to his daughter, everyone just keeps asking where her mother is.
Her dad was sexually abusing her, and they said since he didn't stick his in her, she gotta go back today. I need help from anybody who know anybody that can help her. She needs help because she's gonna kill herself, she said, and she go back today. I can't let them take my baby out of here. I already did it twice. I already did it twice. I did this twice already. I can't do it again. I can't send her out of here. But look at her. She said she's gonna kill herself if they take her. And I don't know what to do. And I need more tell them what was happening. I don't want to go back. I'm being tormented. I'm being used. I'm being treated like a slave. I'm being treated like I don't belong. I don't know where to hide her. I want to take her and just go. But I can't.
So the end of this video is just the aunt talking about how she's running out of resources. She's running out of places to hide her. She don't know where to hide her. She don't know what to do. And she's asking for help. So we're going to move on to the next story. So the next story involves a mammified mother who knew that her daughter was being attacked by men she was dating. Yet she continues to still talk to them. The daughter opened up about this when she was 19. So this video is her at 19 years old. After she told her mother about it, and her mother said, "I know." The mother told the girl, "I know," and then proceeded to fight her daughter, giving her a black eye, bleeding under her eye, to the point where the girl had to call the police. And in the video, you will see that there is a brother or something at the door, because the girl has closed herself into the restroom, and the brother is like, "Calm down. Go talk to mom. She ready to talk to you now. You really want to call the police? That's what you gonna do? Well, if you gonna call the police, then call them." And she's like, "Well, call the police for me." And he's like, "No, you got to do it yourself." So that's going to be the next video we will watch once it loads.
He was tormented every day. It probably could happen to me. Tell him what he did, more. He hurt. He hurt me. I don't want to go back there.
So guys, before we even start this video, I want you to keep in mind that this 19-year-old young lady has a child. She has a son. And typically, when you see young girls like this already having a child, right, an older child, a lot of people will call them promiscuous. They're loose. Look at little black girls and look how loose they are. They start doing this and that at all types of early age. I want you to keep in mind that that's the rhetoric that a lot of these black male devils on YouTube spread about little black girls to basically adultify them and make it okay for the predators. But yeah, that's the narrative that they have spread about little black girls, especially young black girls with kids. Now I want you to listen to this little girl's backstory, and then at the end of this, I want you to comment down below and you tell me how she ended up pregnant with her little son. You tell me how you think that happened. Was it because she was promiscuous, or was it because of other sources?
Oh.
By the way, that voice that you hear in the background yelling is her mother, after her mother attacked her.
I'm so fucking irritated, bro. Never in my life will I ever deal with this shit again, bro. Never in my fucking life, bro. I'm so fucking irritated, bro. I will never deal with this shit again, bro. Don't come in this bathroom. Don't fucking come in this bathroom. Leave me the fuck alone. Literally, leave me alone, bro. Leave me alone, because if I go up there, I'm gonna fucking go to jail, because I'm gonna kill her, bro. And I'm not fucking playing, bro. I'm gonna fucking kill her. But let me tell y'all, this what my mama just fucking did to me. Because I just told her these niggas was raped when I was younger. And she knew about it. So she did this whole ass shit to me. Because I brought it up to her fucking attention. That's why I'm so hurt in the inside. I brought it up. She started swinging on me because she know the fucking truth. This is my own fucking mama just did to me. Because I told her to fucking...
I'm going to pause it right here. This particular video is very triggering for me because of the fact I went through the same thing with my mom. When I was about 12 years old, this was the first time me and my brother lived with my mom in like her own place. And it was this guy that she knew back in high school. His family went to church with us, so I knew his family, but I didn't know him. They reconnected one day at church, and from then they just jumped into a relationship. And probably like a couple weeks later, they were engaged. So then we moved in with him. And we all moved into the same house. The first issue I have with it is, one, you really don't know this man from a can of paint. Yes, you knew him in high school. But for her, that was like 15 years ago. You don't know how much this man has changed or what he's really like now that he is grown. But regardless, we moved in with him. Me and my brother shared a room. This was at the time where my mom was abusing me. She was drinking all the time. She had busted my mouth, punched me in school. Other students had saw her punch me. She punched me in my stomach, my chest, and my back one time while my cousin was at the house, and my cousin had to come comfort me. She punched me because my grandma called my phone, and my grandma said that she had been blowing up my mom's phone and the house phone and couldn't reach her. And I told my grandma that I was afraid to take my mother the phone. And when my grandma was talking to my mom, she let it slip that I said that I was afraid. And so after she got off the phone with my grandma, she came into the living room, made me stand up, and began to punch me. She punched me at least 5 times. And she said to me, if you hadn't have moved, I would have broken your jaw and I wouldn't have taken you to the hospital. As y'all know by now, I do have a heart problem, and she punched me in my chest several times where I could not breathe. I was gasping for air, and I thought I was going to pass out. But during this time, me and my brother were sharing a room. My mom was currently abusing me. And my mom and her fiance had gotten into an argument the night before. And the argument was so loud that it woke me and my brother up. And my brother's side of the bed was closer to the doorway, so he could lean and see what was going on. And he saw the guy slap my mom, and she ended up on the floor. So I told him to just lay back down and go to sleep. Don't get into it. Just stay in the room. So then my mom decided she was going to sleep on the couch. The next morning when I woke up, her fiance was in the bed that my brother and I shared, with my brother pushed to the very edge of the bed, and he was laying on top of me with no clothes on. When I was finally able to pry his leg off of me without waking him up, I went into the living room where my mom was sleeping on the couch, and I told her where he was and that he didn't have on any clothes. And she said, "I know, okay," and rolled over. So that is why I don't have a relationship with my mom. This is why, last time I was on the stream and I was talking about her, I was saying that I would fight her and we have this whole big issue. That is why. And her response to me whenever I bring up that situation is, "But did he do it again? But did he do it again?" After the situation, we continued to live with him. He stayed in the home, and my mother did not leave him until she found out that he had had a child on her behind her back. That is when she finally decided to leave him. Not because he hurt her children, but because he cheated on her. And then on top of that, she became a very jealous mammy and began accusing me of trying to steal men from her. And mind you, at the time I was 12, my mother was 32. The men that she messed with were 35 and up. What does a 12-year-old find attractive about a 35-year-old man? At one point in time, my mother was dating my godfather. My godfather is my grandparents' godson, so he has always been in the family. He is military background. When my dad died, he was always in my life. He would pick me up from school. I would go over to his house and eat dinner with my god siblings and his wife, and we would all kick it. So he was really like a father figure to me. But later on, I guess I was about 17. He and my mom began to dating after his divorce finalized with his first wife. So they began dating, and my mom was head of the Boy Scout troop at my brother's school, and so we went camping one time. So it was me, her, my brother, all the Boy Scouts, their parents, my godfather, and one of his kids came as well. So while we were out, me and him were just, talking about regular stuff. I was telling him that I was interested in going into the military. I wanted to be a Marine, blase, blase. And he gifted me with a pocket knife. After I finished talking to him, my mom called me into her tent and told me to stay out of his face because it seems like I'm trying to get at him. She proceeded to call me hot in the ass and fast. Mind you, this man was a father to me. And because she was so filled with hatred and jealousy towards me, our relationship dwindled between my godfather and I. And to this day, he does not know why. Whenever like we would go to church and stuff with them, my mom would ask me, do I want to go? Do we want to go with them? Do we want to go out to eat with them? And I would always tell her, no, I don't want to go. And she would get mad at the fact that I didn't want to go. And I'm like, I don't want to go because you're sitting here thinking that I'm trying to fuck on my godfather, a man who has literally been there for me since my dad was killed, a man who has been in your life because he is your parents' godson. So y'all grew up together. And I for one found that very nasty because as a god sibling, I see them as my blood siblings. There's no way I would ever date or try to talk to my god brother because I see him as an actual brother. I grew up with him. My grandparents picked him up from school, brought him over to our house. We did homework together. We had vacations together. We had dinner together. So I really saw him as an extension of my family. But because of my mother's jealousy, I had to sever that relationship. So this video is particularly triggering for me because I know exactly what this girl is going through. And I feel very, very sorry for her. And I hope her mother gets all the karma coming to her.
Tell her. She knew I got fucking molested. But what did she do? Nothing. She still talk to the niggas. She still do all that. I'm her. I'm telling her that shit. She gonna do this whole ass shit to me.
So this young girl, as a child, goes to her mom and tells her mom that, hey, I'm being molested by these men. And then her mom proceeds to not do anything and continue to date these men and bring these men around her daughter. And then when her daughter brings it to her attention again as a young lady, she swings on her. Because trust and believe, that black man is way more important to her than her underage daughter. And these are the mammies that are birthing and raising the next generation of degenerate males and traumatized females.
So I gotta come in the fucking bathroom so I won't go to jail, bro. Because I'm about to lose all type of respect for it, bro. Because I'm hurting about that shit deep down inside. If somebody touch you when you a kid, not just one nigga, multiple niggas. If somebody touching you when you a kid and you don't tell nobody, and then when you tell somebody and all they do is attack you, that means she knew all this time, bro. I'm fucking hurt about it. And I'm fed the fuck up, bro. I'm fed the fuck up. I'm tired of going through the same shit with my mama. She is a drunk. She She's a fucking bro. My mama is bro. Tired of going through the same shit with her, bro. Never again, bro. Never again. Tired of going through the same bad shit. Bro, I'm trying to fucking leave, bro. I just don't want to go out there right now because she keeps trying to attack me. I'm trying not to hit my own fucking mama, bro. But this shit, cause I fucking said the niggas was rape. I would never, bro. I called the police. They put me up. They sent me the fucking voicemail, bro. They sent me the fucking voicemail, bro. Because I'm trying to call the police. Because I'm not about to keep dealing with this shit. For you to fucking put your hands on me. Because I tell you, some niggas raped me when I was younger, not just one. All of them. And you fucking knew about it. And you fucking do this. My own fucking mama.
And young black girl.
One thing I want to say is that her mother chose to attack her in the face to make her look undesirable because she feels like her daughter is competition. My mother did the same thing to me. She tried to mutilate my face to make me be unattractive, to make herself feel better. So I know this all too well. We have these mothers who are jealous of their daughters because their daughters remind them of their former beauty, remind them of what their life could have been. With all the options for adoption and abortion, if you were going to take your anger out on your child for quote unquote ruining your life how you feel, then you should have given up the child or aborted it. In situations like this, abortion would be the better option because now you brought a child into this world just to put them through hell, make them miserable when they did not ask to be here. It was your choice to continue birthing them and then not put them up for adoption, but to attempt to raise them in your twisted, sick way.
If you're watching this, I don't care how much you love your mama, how much you love your grandmama, how much you love your aunt. If they have mammy tendencies, especially to this degree, you need to get far away from these bitches because that's what they are, bitches, okay? You need to get far away from these black male worshiping bitches. And you need to preserve yourself because divesting doesn't just mean divesting from black men, divesting from the black community. It means divesting from your black family members that are toxic, mammies included. Please stop trying to save and resurrect relationships like this. This mother does not deserve a relationship with her daughter. I don't even want to call her a mother. This egg holder does not deserve a relationship with this little girl after every single thing she put her through and allow these black male pedophilic devils to put her through. And the last thing this little girl needs to be doing is dropping off her son over there because that's what she was doing. She probably doesn't have, the resources for childcare because she's only 19 years old. So she's allowing her mother to watch her.
And that is true. The little girl does go into death later on in the video, stating that she does not have anybody. She was adopted, and her mother was a drug addict, and so she was taken. And her foster family or adoptive family did the same thing. They were touching her. And so once she got old enough, she decided, hey, I want to see if I can build a relationship with my mother. And it did not go well. And she proceeds to say that she does not have anybody, and that's why she's trying to build a relationship with her mother, but she's seeing that that will never happen. And I want all the young ladies in the chat to remember that if your mom treats you like this, you need to stop trying to build a relationship with her. I stopped trying to build a relationship with my mom when I was 14. And then after I joined the military, I decided to give her another chance. Yet she proceeded to try to fight me and talk shit about my dad, talk shit about me, and would not own up to any of her mistakes. So they don't want to reconcile. They want you there so they have someone to bully. That is all.
son, which, with the way her mother and the men around her mother are set up, I think is a big mistake. But she's probably at a loss for options here. So, Black women, if you are in the financial situation to be able to get away from toxic people, even if they're family like this, please do it. Do it, divest, and don't look back. Because if you don't, this cycle right here that we're watching is just going to continue.
Bro, never again. Bro, all I tried to do was come get my son. I came back to get my son. I see my mama drinking. I'm like, okay, it's the same old shit. So me and my mama started talking because everybody said we need to talk about our problems. So I'm trying to talk about my problems. I'm trying to tell my mama why I'm fucking hurt in the inside and I'm damaged. And I tell her what the fuck happened to me when I was younger. And then she keeps talking to these same niggas that touch me. And she gonna say something, I know. You know what you mean, you know. Then she gonna fucking attack me. No.
So this young lady has a child, right? And throughout her entire life, she has been attacked. So I believe we can make an educated assumption that her child was conceived from one of these men that attacked her. On top of that, her mother continues to have a relationship with these men who she knows attacked her daughter.
No, bro. Stand the fuck up, bro. Bro, stand up.
And y'all, I've witnessed mammies attacking their daughters in real life, and it's always so vicious. They always try to pull out their hair, rip out their edges, scratch out their face, put scars all over their bodies. And it really just comes from a place of deep, deep, deep insecurity, okay? These mammies are so envious and so insecure when it comes to their daughters because their young daughters remind them of their fleeting youth. In a lot of cases, their fading beauty. And when it comes to these horrible Black male worshipers, they'll be clicked up with these pedophiles that are looking at their daughters. And instead of saying, hey, why are you looking at my small underage child, they will get even more jealous and envious of.
And that is facts. That whole trope of, oh, put some clothes on because your uncle coming over. Oh, your shorts too short. Put some clothes on because so-and-so is coming over. If you cannot trust these men to not look at your child who has on clothes that you bought, shorts that you bought, skirts and dresses that you bought, then these men should not be in your life, period. Your child should not have to change within their own house to accommodate some weird ass man that you invite over.
Of their daughter, because now they're in some form of sexual competition for the Mammies Black male pedophile, a competition that this little Black girl did not ask to be in. She just wants to be loved and cared for by her mother and father like any other child, but she's now being placed into this sexual competition as a child that's going to psychologically ruin her, especially seeing as how most little Black girls and young Black women don't get therapy. We don't get help for all our trauma and all our issues and everything, and we just go through our lives carrying that type of trauma.
And this is precisely why I want to get rid of that strong Black woman trope. Because that's just an excuse for these men to put Black women through anything and be like, damn, you're a strong Black woman. I'm surprised you dealt with all that. No, I'm not, bitch. I'm weak. I'm motherfucking weak. I'm tired. I don't want to go through this over and over and over again. No, I'm fucking tired. I'm tired of always having to be strong. I'm tired that I have to protect myself all the fucking time. I can't even turn to family members for protection because y'all say we such strong Black women. So that gives you the right to put us through anything, put us through hell, because we're supposedly a strong, independent Black woman. We don't deserve protection. That's why I want to get rid of that trope. And that's why I want to dismantle this stigma around mental health. And yes, CS, I am weak. I'm a damn damsel in distress, bruh. I'm weak as hell. I'm weak as fuck. I don't want to keep doing this shit, so hell yeah, I'm weak as fuck.
Yeah, just look at this girl. You can see that her hair is all pulled, it's ripped out, and you can tell that her mom just really wanted to attack her, but attack her in a way that was going to physically leave her scarred, which is what a lot of these mammies do.
And she, for her to do this shit to me, I can't, bro. Bro, she fucked my shit up, bro. Pull my hair, everything.
Y'all see this big ass torn skin under this girl eye. Not only does she have a black eye, but her mother tore the skin from under her eye, tore her hair out of her head, because she told her and confronted her about these men touching her. And the mother said she knows.
Bro, I'm so fucking dead. And she don't say sorry. She don't say nothing. All she gonna do is say, oh, she was drunk. So she don't remember it. That's all she gonna say, bro. Bro. I'm still at her fucking house in the bathroom. I'm in the fucking bathroom because I don't want to go up there. Because if I go up there and she touches me again, I'm gonna lose respect for my own fucking mama. I'm not about to tolerate this shit. I've been tolerating for too long. Her drunkenness, her abusiveness. Don't nobody know my real fucking mama. And if you know me, you know I didn't grow up with this bitch. Because that's what she is. I did not grow up with her. Bro, I did not fucking grow up with her. And that's the reason why, because she was fucking abusive. Fuck is you talking about? The same niggas that fucking touched me when I was younger, the same niggas she fucking talking to. And then she gonna try to say, oh, I tried to get them locked up, but it didn't work. What you mean you tried to get them locked up, but you still talking to them? What you mean your own fucking daughter telling you some man abused her, and you gonna do this shit? You do this shit. You do this shit to me, right? Right. And people wonder why I'm so fucked up in their head and wonder why I'm depressed. Bro, I'm fucking hurting, bro. Don't nobody understand this shit. This is why I don't be, bro. I be suicidal a lot, bro. Because don't nobody understand the shit I deal with unless I go live on Facebook. And then y'all see the realness. I don't want to talk right now, bro. Please, I don't want to talk. Not even to be about myself. You know, she just fucking attacked me, bro. No, I'm good.
The person outside of the bathroom door trying to come in and talk to her is her brother, and her brother is telling her to come out and speak to their mom.
Bro, stop! Leave me alone, please. Leave me alone. No, bro. Leave me alone. My fucking baby out there, bro. I'm hurting because of you. You know, she not understanding that stuff. She hurt me every time. And that's the thing. Ready to have a conversation with you. How's she ready after she just done it to my face? Okay, no!
And Black women, there are honestly so many great lessons you can learn from clips like this. Like don't ever let someone try to gaslight you. You see this man and telling this 19-year-old, come outside, your mom calm down, she's ready to talk to you. After this little girl just went to her mom again and told her mom, hey, these guys that you got around you, these guys were touching me growing up. You knew that. That's why I got taken away from you in the first place. And now I come back, we're trying to rebuild this relationship, and you're still hanging out and associating with the same men that used to touch me as a child. Then the mom attacks her. Instead of apologizing, instead of realizing what a piece of shit she is, she attacks her. And then you have this nasty, dirty, dusty talking to her, trying to gaslight her, saying, come outside, your mom is ready. Let's talk this out. Let's talk this out. No, you can't talk shit out with a mammy like that. And the only advice that Dusty should be giving her is to get the fuck up out of there. So Black women, please don't ever let these fools gaslight you.
My own mama telling me, oh, I need to get pretty. What you mean I need to get pretty? Because I don't got no glasses on? My own mama telling me that. What you mean? My mama is jealous of me. And it fucking shows, bro. It fucking shows. Stop talking to me. Bro, I don't want to talk. I'm trying to. Bro, I got bad anxiety. And I'm trying not to lose it because this shit, I'm so done. I'm fed the fuck up. If y'all know half of the shit I go through, bro, I'm fed up. And if I would have never went live when nobody know, bro, everybody would have thought I just got beat up. I got to a fight. My own fucking mama did this to me, bro. I just want to go. That's my brother. Man, I'm trying to go. I'm about to get off this bitch though, cause I'm about to go. I can't do this shit no more. And I'm depressed, bro. No, bro, please stop. Stop! Please leave me alone, please. Leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Please. I need to go to the hospital for my eye. Like, call the police. I'm pressing charges this time. I'm so done with her. Call the police. Like, if you want to help me, you'll call.
Notice that she said, I'm pressing charges this time. This time. So this is not the first time that her mother has attacked her.
Call the police, because I'm done with this shit. I can't. I'm on live. Yeah.
Once again, this stupid dickhead talking about some, if that's what you want to do, call the police if that's what you want to do. Hell yeah, that's what you should have done. You should have called them for her. Oh my God, the gaslighting in this is unbelievable.
Can you shut the door? This is so embarrassing. Bro, I'm not trying to, bro. I'm not gonna fucking call the police. I'm not dealing with this shit no more. Parents can call you the fucking.
And I want y'all to notice that when she called the police and the operator finally answered, because the first time she called, she sent the voicemail. But the operator finally answers. And the operator is rude as hell. She is probably one of the rudest bitches I've ever heard. How you a 911 operator, but you rude as fuck. Rude as fuck.
Kill yourself. Don't nobody understand it though. It's hurt. Oh, fucking Auburn. Oh, shit. You have reached the city of Detroit. Not every time. No, I'm not with Ryan. Every time I fucking call them. Oh, 11621 Webb and 14th and Webb Street. Okay, so then I was on 14th because it's on Webb. 14th and Webb Street. Okay, the number. Do they go to 14th or do they go to Webb? Ma'am, I honestly don't know. Where's this at? I don't know. Is it 14th and Webb? Yes, it's 14th and Webb. Okay, it's 14.
Mind you, the description that she gave was enough for the 911 operator to send help because she is using a cell phone, which they can ping from the tower and find out her exact location.
Me and my mom got into it. My mama jumped on me. And I pressed charges, domestic violence. I don't know what she was doing.
But as y'all hear, the mother is still in the background going off. And I feel like the brother that was knocking on the door really was trying to set her up. Because he kept saying that, oh, she calmed down, she want to talk, oh, she calmed down. But we can hear her in the background not calming the fuck down. So had she gone back out that bathroom, I am 100% sure her mother would have attacked her again.
She was gonna fight me, but my eye's it's scratched up. I got a black eye. Okay. Did you hear me? Yes, please. How old are you? I'm 19. Alright, stay on the phone with me, okay? That's Detroit for you. They ghetto as hell. Detroit police don't give a fuck about nobody. Right, bro. I'm asking for help. Now,
Okay, so that's the end of that video because she's actually about to turn off the live because she's on the phone with the police. So before I start the next video, what I want to do is I want to read off part of the story that I found about the next video. And the reason why I'm still going to play the part of the video, even though I have the article, is because Chris did have some updates and went into depth about what the responding officer said happened when he arrived on the scene. So we're going to go over that as well. Let me see if I can pull it up because it's acting funny. Okay, there it is. Okay, so this is the man that we're talking about right now. And based on Manosphere talking points, this man would have been what they would consider a high value man. He was a Pennsylvania football coach. He did public speaking to other men about how to navigate through life. And he was really doing well for himself. He and his baby's mother were having some issues where he had to go to court to get partial custody of the child. And after he got partial custody of the child, you will see what happened to said child under his care. So let me scroll up to the top. And this article actually gives, is this the one? Yeah, this one gives some facts about this guy or whatever. And let me see, where's his name? His name is Austin Stevens. I believe he's 29 years old. This case happened last year. He had trial on October 13th of, I believe, last year or this year. And there are some updates that happened on December 17th. But let's go through this article first before I play the video. So Austin Stevens is a Pennsylvania man accused of ordering his 10-month-old daughter, Zara Scruggs, who sustained head trauma and later died, according to local authorities. The Montgomery County District Attorney's Office announced on October 6th the arrest of the 29-year-old Lower Providence Township man on charges related to Zara Scruggs' death, including involuntary deviant sexual intercourse, art of a child, aggravated assault, and others. Lower Providence police were dispatched on October 3rd around 10:40 p.m. following a 911 call for an unresponsive infant, according to the statement from officials. Upon arrival, before I finish reading this story is very, very triggering. There are a lot of sick facts in this story, but we're going to read them anyway. We're going to listen to them anyway because this is something that needs to be heard. So upon arrival, they found the unresponsive infant and her father, Austin Stevens. The police immediately began CPR on the unresponsive baby, who was transported by ambulance to Einstein Medical Center, Montgomery, according to the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office. Despite resuscitation efforts, she was pronounced dead at 12:12 a.m. Stevens was charged with involuntary deviant sexual intercourse are of a child, aggravated assault, aggravated indecent assault, endangering the welfare of a child, and related charges, according to the statement. This case is deeply disturbing, said the Montgomery County District Attorney Kevin R. Steele. It is hard to imagine this child's death being any more traumatic. SA on an infant, followed by inaction by the father to save her life, which led to her death. So after the infant was unresponsive, he did not call the authorities till about an hour later because he was Googling how to know when a baby's heart is not beating. But if you keep in mind that this was all the process of him trying to assault a 10-month-old. So Stevens was unable to make the $1 million bail and remained to the Montgomery County Correctional Facility. The district attorney's office confirmed. A preliminary hearing is slated for October 13th at 3 p.m. Here's what you need to know. 1, Stevens' search history included, "What if you don't hear baby heart or beat, police say?" After investigators obtained a search warrant to download Stevens' phone data, they found that he had conducted multiple Google searches for nearly an hour before calling 911, the district attorney office indicated. His search history included phrases, "If baby stop breathing," "What if you don't hear baby heart or beat?" "My baby isn't breathing." "How do you know if a baby is dead?" The office continued. Stevens also conducted social media and text conversations with 2 women during this time that were not related to the baby's condition. So he was sliding in folks' DMs at the same time that his child was dying. 2, Zara Scruggs was the victim of an SA, according to police. A diaper worn by the infant on her way to the hospital was saturated with blood, authorities said in the release. An October 4th autopsy conducted by Dr. Frederick Hellman, a forensic pathologist with the Montgomery County Coroner's Office, found that 10-month-old Zara was a victim of SA, sustaining anal rectal trauma and blunt force trauma to the head, according to the district attorney's office. The cause and manner of death have not been yet determined, pending additional test results. 3, Stevens is co-owner of Black Diamond Construction, his social media states. So he was a businessman. Stevens claims on Facebook to be the co-owner of Black Diamond Construction Services, which is located 15 minutes of Philadelphia and King, Prussia, its website states. The company is a multifaceted construction company committed to providing the necessary services that will bring your company's project to fruition. Our company is fully licensed and insured, also staffed with skilled employees who place a great deal of pride in their work. 4, local media reported that Stevens was an assistant coach for a youth football team. So he has a lot of access to other children. So WPVI-TV reported that Stevens was an assistant coach for the Lower Providence Warriors football team, citing investigators. The Lower Providence Midget Football Association is premier youth football organization in the area. The Warriors are an organization that promotes youth football and cheerleading for ages 5 through 15. So we know his type is a 10-month-old, and he has access to young girls and boys of ages 5 through 15. I really want them to do a thorough investigation and see if he assaulted any of those other children that he was in the care of. 5, Stephen hails from Norriston and recently posted about uplifting other Black men, his social media says. Here's his post. He posted this picture here. And he said, "We are Black men. We build. We don't tear down other Black men. We have felt the pain of being torn down, and we have decided that we will deliberate about building others. If I didn't tag you, please don't be offended. I tried to pick people I thought would do this challenge. All too often, we men find it easier to criticize each other instead of building each other up. With all the negativity going around, let's do something positive. According to his Facebook profile, Stephen hails from Northston, Pennsylvania, and attended Plymouth White Marsh High School. His relationship status on the page indicates that he is single. On June 4th, Stephen posted a picture of himself in a suit with a caption about uplifting other Black men. I've already read that to you. So that's the end of this article here. So now I'm going to play the rest of the video to kind of get into the more detailed versions of, accounts of what happened. But this is sick. This man actually fought in court to get partial custody of his 10-month-old, yet he proceeded to attack her and take her life.
Mammies have for their little Black daughters because they're so obsessed with trying to keep and please a Black man. But guys, we're gonna now transition into another equally, if not more horrific story about a 10-month-old that was found raped and murdered at the hands of her own father in Montgomery County, PA. So y'all warning, the details of this entire story is just very hard to listen to. And if you're sensitive to topics like this, I would definitely just skip this part of the video. But this article is coming out of nypost.com. And the article reads, a Pennsylvania father was arrested for raping and killing his 10-month-old daughter, allegedly waiting an hour to call the cops as he searched terms like, my baby isn't breathing, police said. Austin Stevens, 29, was charged with involuntary deviant sexual intercourse, rape of a child, aggravated assault, aggressive indecent assault, endangering the welfare of a child, and other offenses. ABC Philadelphia reported his daughter, Zara Scruggs, was found unresponsive in his Lower Providence Township home on Saturday night. The infant was taken to Einstein Medical Center in Montgomery and pronounced dead at 12:12 a.m. Sunday, less than 2 hours after he called 911. An autopsy on Sunday determined that Zara was sexually assaulted and suffered blunt force trauma to the head. The girl had been picked up from her grandmother's house in Norristown and taken to Stevens' apartment, which had no heat or hot water for the night, NBC reported. Stevens, a young football coach in the area, allegedly Googled if babies stop breathing. What if you don't hear the baby's heartbeat? My baby isn't breathing. How do you know if your baby is dead? For nearly an hour before calling 911, investigators found. This case is deeply disturbing It is hard to imagine this child's death being any more traumatic. Sexual assault of an infant, followed by interaction by the father to save her life, led to her death. Montgomery Court Case District Attorney Kevin Steele said, Stevens is being held in Montgomery Court Correctional Facility on $1 million bail. His next court hearing is October 13th, 2020. So guys, we're going to be talking about all the details of this case, as well as covering the current update on this case. As of December 17th, 2021. Now guys, some more details of the case. The officer on the scene said when he arrived, baby Zara was unresponsive. She was laying at the foot of the bed with her father standing right in front of her. She only had a diaper on, and the diaper was soaked in blood. Her skin was gray. She was cold to the touch, and the father was sitting over there saying he didn't know what happened and that he had been trying to attempt to save his daughter's life, just for them to do an autopsy and find out that the daughter actually died while he was raping her, covering her mouth, hitting her head, a 10-month-old, because he wanted her to stop crying as he violated his 10-month-old infant. It also said that Stevens conducted social media and text conversations at this time while his daughter was dead after he had just raped and killed her. That was not related to his baby girl's death. So yes, this man was sliding up in Instagram girls' DMs trying to get some tail after he had just arred and killed his infant daughter. So yeah, y'all, those are some of the details of this case. I'm going to insert the news coverage of this case so you guys can see exactly what happened for yourselves.
Balloons released tonight in honor of a baby girl. Hundreds gathered around a family grieving the loss of a 10-month-old taken in such a tragic way. Good evening, I'm Jessica Cartalia. Friends, family, even strangers huddled around 10-month-old Zara Scruggs' family tonight. The vigil focused on a little girl known as Moo. Greg Argos with their story from Norristown.
Tonight here in Norristown feels like almost every single person in this community coming out to remember the baby girl and honor her family.
I will miss her.
It is impossible to imagine what the family of 10-month-old Zara Scruggs is going through.
I can't sleep. I still wake up at 5.
But hundreds of friends, family members, neighbors in Norristown want to make sure they're not going through it alone.
Say your name!
At least 500 people Friday packing the street in front of the home where Zara, known affectionately as Moo, lived with her mother Erica.
I just love y'all because y'all love my baby. And I appreciate everybody.
Releasing thousands of balloons in the infant's memory, trying to erase the thought of the heinous way she left this world.
I woke up with my daughter screaming, Mom! He says she's not breathing.
Zara's father, 29-year-old Austin Stevens, is in jail facing rape, aggravated assault, and murder charges. Investigators say he sexually assaulted his own daughter. An autopsy showed the baby also suffered blunt force trauma to her head.
No, we didn't think nothing bad of nothing. Did we? If I had a clue, no. The love right now, I mean, even with his other side, his family, please, no. We never thought anything like this.
But the focus tonight is not on him or the dastardly crimes police say he committed. It is on supporting Zara's mother and her grandparents.
I don't want no mother to feel what I felt that night.
As they take this lifelong journey, an impossible attempt trying to recover from this nightmare.
This is Zara's night. This is Zara's night.
In Norristown, Greg Argos, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, guys. So that sums up the entire backstory on this heinous situation. Now, this portion of the video is going to be the update portion of the video. Now, according to this article, a judge set a February trial date for the Lower Providence man accused of sexually assaulting his 10-month-old daughter, who subsequently died after also suffering blunt force trauma to the head. The jury trial for Austin Kimmel Stevens, 30, formerly of the 3400 block of Germantown Pike, will begin on February 7th, 2022. According to an order issued this week by Montgomery County Judge William R. Carpenter, the trial is expected to last 5 days. The trial date was selected after a conference between the judge and the lawyer in the case, and selected to accommodate the availability of the lawyer and the witnesses. If he's convicted of first or second degree murder, Stephen faces life imprisonment. A conviction of third degree murder, a killing committed with malice, carries possible maximum sentence of 20 to 40 years in prison. Stevens will remain in county jail without bail while awaiting trial on the charges. So I'm at least happy that this animal, that this devil, this demon is behind bars and is going to stay there until his hearing, February 7th, 2022. Now, another interesting update I wanted to add to kind of add perspective on what type of devil we're dealing with, as well as devils like him in our community. I actually found this post that he made on Instagram right here, this proud Black man, where he was actually speaking to other Black men and speaking on the strength of a Black man and how they're builders and how they're supposed to uplift one another. You know, Black men are supposed to uplift other Black men. This Stevens guy was super pro-Black. He had all types of posts talking about what Black men are supposed to do for their community and how Black men need to step it up, be better to each other, be better fathers, etc., etc., etc. Just for it to come out that he did something as heinous as what he did to his 10-month-old infant. So guys, this is just one of the posts that he posted to Instagram. He posted this picture captioned, "We are Black men. We build. We don't tear down other Black men. We have felt the pain of being torn down. Couldn't be any worse than the pain his daughter felt that night that he brutally raped and murdered her. But yeah, let's keep going. We have felt the pain of being torn down, and we decided we will not deliberate about building others. If I didn't tag you, please don't be offended. I tried to pick people I thought would do this challenge. All too
often we find it easier to criticize. And see, that's why he's writing this. He knew he was fucking sick and liked children, but more specifically, his little 10-month-old daughter. And he probably thought that it was unfair that he couldn't be out and open about it because he was going to be criticized, okay? Because I don't even know what other form he could be talking about. This man is talking about the world and black men need to stop criticizing other black men and judging them so harshly, knowing that he's the type of motherfucker that's attracted to children, but more disturbingly, his 10-month-old infant. And he has the type of mindset that literally causes the most amount of damage in the black community, and that needs to be criticized. But here he is saying, oh, have sympathy for your black brother, don't criticize him, because he knows who the fuck he is. We men find it easier to criticize each other instead of building each other up. With all the negativity going around, like you raping and killing your daughter, let's do something positive. I wonder if his daughter would think what was done to her was positive. Upload one picture of yourself, only you, then tag as many brothers to do the same. FB only allows 50. Let's build ourselves up instead of tearing ourselves down. Copy and paste. If I tagged you, don't disappoint me. So this man is up here talking to black men about how they need to stop criticizing each other and tearing each other down, and how they need to be more positive because of all the negativity going around. But this is the same type of demon, the same type of demented soul that would molest and murder his 10-month-old infant. That's the man talking about there's too much negativity in the world. Black men, let's spread positivity. This is how you guys spread the positivity. This was a black man that his friends and family considered a leader in the community, a builder. He goes out of his way to mentor little black boys. He's always there for children. He would be an excellent father. So many black men have sung this man's praises. So many little black boys looked up to this fucking devil just for him to be this sick and demented of a predator behind closed doors. And like I said, men like this, these are who black men in our community and little black boys look up to, okay? They look up to men like this. They sing their praises. They consider them local hero for doing some stupid shit like coaching football because black men abandon their kids so much. It takes the football coach to play daddy to all of their sons. Yes, that's who the community is looking up to. A man who was capable of molesting and taking the life of his 10-month-old daughter. Yes, that's Blackistan for you, right? And BLM, you would think that they would have this girl, seeing as how this case happened a year ago and it's been being updated and updated and updated. You would think that BLM would have this girl on the front of their website, would be making noise about this, would be trying to start programs so we can protect little black girls from being molested, or programs for little black girls who already experienced that and are suffering from trauma, or who are currently going through that and have no place to go, like that 19-year-old who said she had to stay there and endure that with her mother because she had nobody. You would think that they would be doing that. But guess what these motherfuckers have on the cover? They have fucking Jussie Smollett talking about justice for Jussie Smollett. He didn't lie about those white men attacking him. And no, he didn't pay those Nigerian men to fake attack him to incite some sort of a race war for fucking attention, hence watering down the plights of the entire black community and making us look like a bunch of race baiters. Yes, that motherfucker. He's the face of Black Lives Matter, not this 10-month-old infant that was brutally murdered by her father while he was molesting her. She didn't even get a feature. So y'all already know what it is. When all it takes for a black man to get respect and notoriety in the black community is by talking that good old pro-black talk.
Okay, so we went over the updates of the case. So I'm gonna end the video there. But that case was very sad and sickening. That's why I saved it for last. But it's very sickening. I'm glad he's in jail. I will try to do an update when his trial starts on February 7th. And we'll see what he's charged with, how long he's going to be in prison. But that is extremely sick. That one, you are sick enough to touch your own child, but two, to do it to a 10-month-old, not even a toddler. The baby probably can't even crawl. And this is fucking sick. This is disgusting. And these black men wonder why black women no longer trust them, no longer want any dealings with them. Because it's not like he chose some random kid that he was babysitting. He did it to his own child. Even in the sexual predator world, that is very rare that you're doing it to your own child. It's just very, very disgusting and horrific. Like, no, that is not it. And I hope he rots in prison, and I hope he get a silly that don't like pedos. I really do. But if y'all have any questions, y'all can go ahead and post them in the comment section. If you have anything else you want me to cover, talk about, you can post that in the comment section. If anybody wants to come on the panel, I'll post the link in the comment section once again, and y'all can come on and speak your piece about the cases that I covered today. But yeah, that shit is foolish. You thought about getting at your child like that? You want to get at your child like that? That is disgusting. A baby that can't even defend herself. A baby that is solely dependent on you for survival. Yeah, you're just the perpetrator of this situation. You're just fucking disgusting. And I hope he fucking dies. Let me see my other sources right fast, because it kind of looked like I went through all of them. Okay. I didn't go through this one. Now this one was updated in 2018. Oh. Hey Queen Cascade, how you doing, ma'am?
Hey, good evening, sis. Do what you're doing, carry on, because I'm just in the middle of something, but thank you for doing the stream.
Of course, that's the first thing I saw when I opened up my YouTube this morning.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of people that are not aware of what's actually going on around us, because the plight has always been about black men.
Yep.
And a lot of women's focus with BLM and everything else that's been going on, like the video said, is the focus has been on black men, and black women and black girls have been left to fall through the cracks. And I feel like it's a time that in this part of the awakening that's taken place, that it's time for us as sisters to come together to be able to protect each other. It's difficult in this day and age with seeing everything that's going on with black women, because like I said, you know, for people in the chat, good evening chat, that have heard me speak before, up until the last couple of years, I've been sort of within this realm for the past 25 years, because sexual health covers these things. Do you get what I mean? Working with CPS and what we call social services, it's heart-wrenching. It is absolutely heart-wrenching seeing what kids are going through. And the highest majority of children that are in care, in CPS's care, are black and biracial children that have got black fathers. And to see the things that they've had to deal with whether it's the mother or father, it's I can't even put it into words right now. Like,
Yeah, it's truly sickening when we think about all these children who are in social services because of situations like this, and then also the children who didn't make it to social services who are
that is,
facing issues like this.
yeah, we've got a lot of, and this is part of the problem when people talk about just dealing with their own households. When people are just individually dealing with your own household and you're not keeping an eye on what's going on with the community, it allows these things to sort of go on within family homes because nobody's checking in, nobody's creating safe
Hello?
spaces for. Hello? Somebody speak now?
I don't know who that is. He just typed in the back chat that it was an echo, but I was letting him know he's the only one that's hearing the echo. I don't know who he is. Who are you?
Yeah, I was actually just in it for the topic.
Okay, so you had something to input on this situation? Did you have something to say?
Yeah. I'm gonna actually let this lady speak though because she's making real points though. So
Okay.
I'm gonna let her follow through with her point.
Okay.
It's okay, he can go ahead because no disrespect, you interrupted. So when you interrupted my train of thought, I wasn't looking at the computer, so I didn't know anybody was there. But if you can go ahead and say what it is that you wanted to say. World went crazy.
Dude, can you say what you need to say?
There's so much echo going on. Like if you can hear it from my end, it's so much. So like I'm letting her speak, and as she speaks, it's more echo coming back.
Well, we're not hearing the echo, so can you go ahead and say what you needed to say?
Maybe you've got a double page open and it might be echoing from your side.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
the chat,
yeah.
is there an
Hold on.
echo?
Yeah, yeah. So it's good now. Um, yeah, as far as black men, yeah, the point stands correct. Like it's a lot of men just out here, just freely getting away with so much. But the recompense is like the sin is not executed as far as the judgment. So people are comfortable, like a lot of men, they comfortable with doing evil because like motherfuckers like this, as far as him doing this to his daughter, he's put in this cell when really he should be put in the dirt. You feel me? So it's a lot of like it's a lot of like leniency as far as judgment goes. Like these men shouldn't be alive. Like if we go back to biblical times, if we can go back to the Middle East right now and just like a lot of pedophilia shit going on in the Middle East. But I'm just saying, like in judgment, like you can die for stealing. But out here in America, it's like anything you can think of is happening. It's like anything you can think of is happening, and men are getting put in like a cell. When you should be put in the grave, like literally. You do that to your daughter, anything like any woman, like you do that to a woman, period. It should be judgment. Like you feel me? I got a mother, she's a victim of she's a victim of rape. My mom been raped like 5 times, and as a child, my mother used to cry to me like she used to cry to me about the pain. Like I didn't understand as a child though, but she used to explain it to me. But I told her, I'm like, you got to stop thinking about it. But as I got older, I wonder why she couldn't stop thinking about it because these men still roaming around. You feel me? A lot of her, abusers is still out. Like they went to jail and got out. So a lot of what y'all saying is true, but I feel like a lot of black men, we need to hold each other accountable and realize like, you know, sometimes the system it's not gonna make the swift judgment. Sometimes we gotta hold all of ourselves accountable and become a community to execute the judgment. Because if we let the enemy do it, you know, they gonna show a little favor because they do the same shit. The judges is pedophiles, you know, they'll let you get off the case. Because a lot of you got the Vaticans, the higher ups, the judgment is not death. Like the penalty is not death. So people, they're not afraid. Like in a community, a small community, imagine if we set up a small community and this take place and the rules would be death. And another person would think to try it, but they would hear like its consequence is death. The consequences is death. It will be very few cases of this, but you can go to jail and you can still breathe, you can still eat. And I'm talking about children, like you do these to children, and you can still be alive walking. But we talking about the children of God. Like when God speak of children, He say my children. Like these are children that God made in the womb of women. Like I don't think people make children. I think God make children. And when you do this to children, I feel like these are the children of God. And it causes disconnect because these children, they will get older asking where was God? A lot of children grow up like where was God? If God is real, where was God when this was happening? So, you know, it's a confusion. It's so much confusion and wickedness and it breaks out. Like I feel like the evil that happens like when men do this, it breaks out. Instead, it's like a fire. It's not contained. It's not immediately contained, so it breaks out. So a lot of people begin to learn how to do the same shit because they figure the judgment is not swift enough. So I feel like a lot of men, if black men come together and we understand, like, look, the enemy that we in the hands of right now, which is America, you know, we gotta stop allowing them to choose the judgment for what what happens in our community. You feel me? Like for real. Like if we allow them to just put these men in jail with no swift judgment, no consequences, you know, it's gonna be ideal for other people to practice the same thing that got urges like this.
Excuse me. So, what do you mean by allowing America to do what?
Nah, like when men do this to the children, right? You speaking on the topic, you saying a man did this to his daughter, right?
Yeah.
In the community, if that was heard in this community, as black men was really like I'm talking about back in the day where Black Panthers was alive, you know, and we actually patrolled our community. And you know, if this was heard and judgment is exercised by us as men, you feel me, on this wickedness, on this evil, it wouldn't be time for the enemy to deal. You know, it wouldn't be enough time for the enemy to get to him because the enemy does the same thing. Like we in the hands of our enemies in America, right? But if you look up the higher ups, they doing the same thing, like pedophile. That's why the judgment, you can go to jail and still eat and breathe and live and you know. So my thing is like if we take matters in our own hands and really like stand up as men because first we got to know the rules of it. In the sight of God, this is evil. You feel me? Like in the sight of God, that's evil. You do that to your daughter, like that's evil, bro. You shouldn't be alive. You shouldn't be allowed to live like after that. You feel me? So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we understand what you're saying. We understand fully.
Yeah, we understand.
yeah. So that's all I'm reaching at. That's all I'm reaching at. But you know, other than that, you know, the freedom, like the freedom of America, anything you can think of in the world that's crazy and dumb and wild and evil is happening in America. You feel me?
Hmm. So can I ask a
Anything we can think
question?
of. Yeah, go ahead.
You spoke about black men working together to combat what's going on.
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, go ahead.
Um, what are you doing within that realm to help assist?
Hold on, what? I couldn't hear you. What did you say? My
I
bad.
said you spoke about black men coming together to look at the situations and sort of put in preventative methods to stop these things from happening.
Right.
So, in that regard, what are you doing to assist?
Like what's unfolding right now is like to be honest with you, what's unfolding is like it's been a purge. It's been like a refinement of, what's what should be real in the end, what should be like stood on. And I'm saying like a lot of men gotta perish. It's gonna man gonna be like rare like fine gold. That's why the war you see it's a lot of it's a lot of purging that's gonna happen because it's some man that will look at that situation with dude daughter and they wouldn't see nothing wrong with it. They wouldn't see it being punishable by death. They wouldn't see nothing wrong with it. So I mean, what we witnessing, and it's not what I can do, it's what I'm witnessing. Like I feel like it's a war coming against this type of, you know, this system.
So, you're not doing anything to contribute in helping. So, you're going to continue
No,
to
like
witness this go on?
no, I'm saying witness the judgment that's gonna happen on acts like this. Because I feel like I'm a firm believer. I'm a spiritual believer, and I believe God is on earth right now, and He's bringing judgment on this. You know, and it's gonna be a shortage of men and even women that want to allow stuff like this. Because it's not only men. If we look at, you know, the brother, what's the dude that went to jail? He killed himself. It's Harvey. What's his name?
You talking about that little boy that went to Rikers over a backpack?
No, the guy that hung himself, the higher up pedophile. You made a guy. He had an
Oh,
island.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, he had a woman where she was coercing young girls. So I mean, it's a
Mhm.
man. Basically, I don't believe it's a man versus woman thing. I believe it's a wrong versus right thing. It's a man versus it's a wrong versus right. A lot
So,
of
you're
people doing
basically
wrong.
saying that you're waiting on this purge from God or Jesus, the higher
No,
above,
not
to deal
Jesus,
with this
not Jesus.
situation?
I don't believe in Jesus. I mean, the spirit is real, right? If we look at who created the earth and we look at the laws that whoever created, like the Most High created the earth to govern with, you would know, like people that do stuff on the land, the land is able to. That's why you see famine, you see hurricanes, you see tornadoes, because the land is swallowing the people up for the same deeds that you report right now. You saying pedophilia, homosexuality, you say murder, that's wickedness. So the land begins to swallow the inhabitants up for the deeds because this world was created with order. You feel me? And man is out of order. And only person that only king on the earth can like punish man for the sins and correct the earth correctly and put it in check is the creator who created man. You feel me?
Yeah, I
But
feel you.
like
Thank you. Thank you for your perspectives on this subject. It's been very interesting listening to what you've been saying. And hopefully, you will be able to get a group of men together to be able to. You said brothers should come together at the beginning, though you've gone on
absolutely.
to somewhere that I'm not quite sure. So, hopefully, you will be able to get, your male counterparts together and speak to them about morality and the other things that are going on to be able to help this situation.
Yeah, the children come first. Like, if
Jay.
not for the children, we ain't gonna survive. If the children are brutalized and pillaged as they are right now, like we're the world is not gonna survive. It's like the bees. It's like the bees. The bees is dying up. So if the children is gone, the earth is done. We have no we like when people say you can live forever, it's not actually living forever. It's through your children. Like your children is gonna carry your name, and what the world is doing to the children, the children are going to carry shame instead of your name. It's going to be shame.
That's
So
right.
it's looking ugly, but all we can do is around us it, you know, like you want to go out all Rambo, like a man that want to live right and see the world right. He'll want to go out all Rambo and just go crazy. But you know, you will get penalized for that because the enemy, they got prisons for people like that too, like UEP and Malcolm X, and the ones that want to that wanted to stand up, but they got a place for them too. So it's just like only thing we got left is the creator that created man, and he's going to punish completely, and he's going to get the last say so. Where it's like you can't, what you gonna say? Like,
World. Before I ask you the question that I want to ask you,
yeah.
Jay, are you a Dusty?
Hold on.
Jay, are you a Dusty?
I don't like how that word sounds, so I'm gonna say a no, but I wouldn't fully like into the conversation because I was doing something.
Yeah, no. Y'all, he not no Dusty. This is my friend from high school. This is his first time watching one of my videos, so I asked him to come up. This is Jay. Jay, meet the chat. This is Queen Cascade.
What's
Hey.
going on?
Nice to meet you, Jay, bro.
Good evening.
But so you say you didn't watch the whole stream, Jay? Jackson.
Hold on.
Okay, well, put yourself on mute for right now. But world, my question is: are you saying that we need to wait on redemption to purge the world of these bad men?
No, as far as redemption is happening right now, you see the plagues, you see the tornadoes.
But you're saying we have to wait on God to exterminate these men?
No, because you have to go within yourself and know and prepare yourself. You understand? It's about self first, because like we can be in our household, and outside of our house, it's so much evil happening. But
So you don't want to take a collective stance against the evil that's happening outside of your household?
no, like what I'm telling
Okay.
you is, I'm not saying that, because if I see it in the side of my eyes, I'm swift on judgment. I'm swift on judgment if I see it in the side of my eyes. But as far as if I'm in the house and I'm going to look for it, I mean, how can I patrol like that, and we up against a system that do the same thing? You feel me? But yet they judgment is lenient. They want to see pedophiles alive in jail. So if I go and kill a pedophile, I'm gonna be in jail with them, right? I'm not gonna get a reward or freedom. I'm not gonna get praise and respect and honor. I'm gonna get shame for that, for standing up for what's right.
Okay,
So
so
all I say is the creator of heaven and earth, he lived forever. When his judgment come, that's that.
okay, listen, sir. Listen,
You
sir.
feel me?
We're not worried about what the creator has planned for
I
these.
understand that, but that's
But
first though. He created
listen,
the earth.
listen.
That's
We're
all I'm
not
saying.
asking you to go out and seek out pedophiles. We're asking, do you have a plan to try to mitigate this situation? Like an organization that maybe somebody can start
Yeah,
in order to
yeah.
help these
Like
people.
my wife right now, she's starting something for the women as far as self-defense. Like
Okay,
my
but what
wife,
about you?
that I'm a part of the company. That's what I'm saying. She's
Okay,
creating
but
a company.
sir, so if she started the company, what ideas do you have as a black man who is supposed to be a leader in the community to fix this situation?
And that's why I'm telling you right now. I'm creating products for her. Like it's self defense weapons for women
Okay,
to
but
protect
we're talking
themselves.
about these children, sir.
That's what I'm saying. I just told you.
What type of plan would you have to protect the children? Because you can't give a child pepper spray and expect them to know how to use it
No,
or how to.
I said for women, like women,
Okay,
because
but
the
we're
women.
talking about children right now.
Like, what is your point of just being aggressive? How you is like
Because you're not
you act
answering the question.
you
Because
act
you're
like
not answering the
I'm
question.
like
Do you
a.
have a plan to help the children?
All we can do, like we said, like I said, is
Okay, world went crazy.
commit to the Most High. He the
Thank you
only.
for coming up and sharing your opinion with us.
Yes, sir, you're
Have a good
done.
evening.
You're done. Because nobody is going to sit here and wait on the reckoning and wait on Jesus to come back instead of helping these children who need help right now. You came up here and you just continue to say the same shit over and over again, like you were really making a good ass point.
Well, I suppose at least his wife is doing something, though it shouldn't be on her to provide that service.
Queen Cascade, why somebody catfishing is you?
Is it?
Yeah, they said I'm a carpet muncher.
Huh?
Sir, I
What?
like dick.
I'm not looking at this troll is.
Oh, they just stole your picture and they really catfishing.
Oh, hey troll. Hey troll, you want to be me? Aw, you poor thing. So sad, pathetic, demented, sitting in your mum's basement, scratching your balls, skid mark row on your pants. Yeah, enjoy. Can't even do a decent job of being me. Want some tips? Get with a real one, okay?
You're the second person I see they do that to. They did it to Jada the other day on Taz channel.
Yeah, and there's a couple other people they're doing that to as well. So yeah,
Honey,
apologies, but
don't
it's
steal
not
my
me.
identity because I promise I'll have my friend in IT find where you live. Don't be trying to impersonate me. Don't do that.
And let me just say this, troll. You don't have my permission to use my photography or any images that belong to me. They are all copywritten. They are all embedded. I work with artists that produce certain types of work. I am the only one that has the copyright. So if they decide to sue your ass for using images that you don't have permission to use, good luck.
Okay, so this man talking about he don't believe in Jesus, but he telling us to wait on God. So I'm gonna ask him why he telling us to wait on God if he don't believe in Jesus. You're bad. You telling us to wait on the Lord, but you don't believe in Jesus. What sense does that make? Person, I know you hear me talking to you.
You muted me. Hello.
I know I did. You can unmute yourself. So how are you going to tell us to wait on God for a reckoning for these sick men, but you don't even believe in Jesus?
I believe the God of the Abraham. That's why I believe God stands alone.
What are you?
Jesus is not God.
What's your religion?
I'm a Hebrew. I'm a Hebrew Israelite.
That makes sense.
I believe in one God.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you got anything else you want to say? Because at this point, you got to go.
I'm just saying, like, that's all I need to say. That's rules
Okay,
to
well,
all
you
of
got to
you.
go. Goodbye. Okay, first off, dude, you asking the women to speak on ideas to help the children when we have been doing that. But as a man who is supposed to lead the community, you should have your own ideas. You over here riding the coattails of your wife, talking about you got a business, but it's really your wife's business. What you are is a leech. You are a leech with no mind of your own, and you don't know how to properly do anything. You are a victim and you're resting in your victimhood. Okay, he's gone.
Listen, sweetheart. World went crazy because he put something in the back chat about not once have your women spoke on an idea to help children. You guys are supposed to be the leaders of the community that have all these ideas and all these things that you guys apparently want to do or put into place. Yeah? You want to speak over women and talk for women, but yet still you need ideas from us. And you don't know us, sir, because at the same time, there's other things and other panels where we contribute and give ideas. So don't come over here with that bullshit and try to deflect, because that's what it is, deflection and gaslighting. We asked you pretty direct questions which you couldn't answer. So go somewhere with that BS. And it's probably better that he doesn't have any ideas. He can keep working under, his wife and providing self-defense equipment. He'd rather make the equipment and make money off the community than help in the prevention and the other things that are symptomatic to make the community better. So, continue to profit and do your thing.
Mm-hmm. Hey, big brother Anon, how you doing?
What's good, little sis? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I've been better, but it is what it is. Yeah, check your email. Peace to you, Queen.
Yeah, I literally check your email come in as soon as you join the panel.
All right. Yeah, do that for me though. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But yeah, I got to fall back from this. And I wanted to tell you straight up, but we'll chop it up because I'm a we'll chop it up. But this space doesn't work for where I'm at right now and for what I'm trying to do. And so, but I still will definitely work behind the scenes with the league and everything. I'm getting ready to hit up the judges and everything right now to talk to them, talk to Solar, and make sure everything is straight. But yeah, I felt bad because I know we was gonna set a debate, so I just wanted to holler at you real quick on the joint. But I'm definitely gonna build with you behind the scenes and work out some stuff and help you get some stuff together too. There's some things I think you can do in the space that you're trying to move in that I think you'd be powerful in. So we're gonna chop it up and talk about that. All right.
Thank you so much, Anon, and I sent you an email back.
Thank you, my little sis.
You're welcome, of course, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
You too. Hey, I love all y'all, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all.
We love you too.
Peace.
Peace.
Take care, Anon. I know, it's hard when you're one of the minority within the collective that is trying to make a difference. So, brother, all I can say is, keep pushing through, because there are people that are going to try and stop you because they like the way that things are. There's people that's comfortable in their uncomfortability, and, there are women that still need protection out there, and I'm glad to know that there are still some men like you that are out trying to do the work or are doing the work on the ground. We actually need more of you. So keep pushing, even if it's behind the scenes.
Facts. And I wish all success to Anon and all his endeavors.
Definitely. So where were we?
Jackson, are you back? I guess not.
Yeah, I'm trying to upload my avatar. Everybody got their nice ass avatar but me.
Don't worry about the avatars. Talk to us, young man. Talk to us.
Have you seen at least a good portion of the live stream?
Yeah, I've been listening a little bit. I kind of got a little lost in the conversation. I think everybody was talking about how you the ideas of helping kids in the community.
Yeah, because the stories that we were going over was a 10-month who was touched and killed by her father, a 12-year-old who was touched by her father, and then a 19-year-old who was touched and her mother knew about it.
Okay. Okay. So I won't get deep because I know everybody had their own opinion on it. And I know this is supposed to be an open discussion, but I just want to hear everybody's thoughts on it because I like listening and getting a different perspective of what I think about it.
Well, Jackson, as a man, what do you think you could do within the community to help children out and to kind of prevent situations like the ones we have covered today?
Um, that's a big question. That is a big question because it's a lot of groundwork, especially for guys because you see a lot of it happening with guys touching females. So it's a lot of work got to be done. It can't be from a one person perspective, like these fucking group meetings and shit like that.
But
Hush.
like, how could you go about getting to the collective to help with the situation?
Well, I really think everything starts with influence. If you ask
Elaborate.
me personally, I think everything start with influence, and I think influence is it come big from famous people
Hmm.
because I mean and you see a lot of people that's even the Facebook people, like social media famous people,
Hmm.
like they don't you don't problems of this searching, you know what I mean? You
Right.
just everybody just in their own little world and worry about self until something happened and then everybody had their own opinion on it. But don't nobody really just think about how to do it. And like I said, the biggest influencer are famous people or people that's being hyped up, but they ain't really saying anything about it. So you can't if nobody's addressing it and nobody's talking about it, then you can't come up to some type of solution for it.
Okay. And since you feel like influence come mainly from like celebrities, what do you think celebrities could do to bring awareness or to help out?
Uh, um, I know you. I mean, you can start with like how they have these AA meetings and shit like that. I think you can get one for them to because I think what it is that like I watched this movie right about people and them getting a rise basically, and
Hmm.
it was showing that like anything can trigger somebody as far as watching somebody sleep, you know what I'm saying? Watch somebody eat and shit like that. Watch somebody down and shit like that can tip somebody off. And even as a guy, like I can personally tell you, I can walk around and I can be wearing a certain type of boxes and briefs and that boy rise up, you know what I'm saying? So hold on one second.
Okay. He obviously doing other stuff. I guess he leaving the unit or whatever. But what do you feel about what he said, Queen Cascade?
Um, I wasn't listening to all of it. I heard some of it. I just feel like in general, we're in a state of play where these so-called kangs are not
Hmm.
kings, and yeah, people
So
might come.
um anybody there?
Yeah, we
To make
here.
sure this mic working.
We can hear you. Jay, we can hear you.
Jackson. He put himself back on mute, so I don't know what he's doing. But yeah, but basically he was just saying that a lot of the influence comes from celebrities, and a lot of these celebrities aren't talking about the situation and bringing awareness to what's going on.
Yeah, a lot of the celebrities are capitalists to a certain extent because they're there to make their money and entertain. I think when it comes to celebrity, what parts of what celebrities could be doing is because really and truly, people are to, say, when it comes to people's money, don't check their back pockets, and people are entitled to do with what they want to do with their money, which is true. At the same time, if you're in that high percentile bracket where you're making a certain amount of money, as I understand it, they can get tax write-offs by getting involved with voluntary programs and getting involved with donating to different causes. I always suggest to people to find a cause, that's close to your heart. Like you see Rihanna, she's got the diamond ball, and during the pandemic, she I can't remember how many millions she gave towards domestic violence charities and shelters and things like that, because she was the child of a domestic violence situation, and obviously going into a relationship like she did with Chris Brown and dealing with domestic violence. So she understands full well herself when there's periods of isolation, how it affects women and children that are dealing with, violent situations. There's more celebrities that could be doing things like that. Do you get what I mean? We're spending with the celebrities, there's a lot being spent on looking a certain way, being a certain way, dropping Don Perignon and money clips, but you don't see it rolling down to the community level, or more community participation, or being a mascot and highlighting certain charities or organizations that are good practices out there.
Facts. Facts. And Jackson, I was about to call you by your first name, but Jackson, you remember how Dr. Hunter had those what's it called, I can't remember what they were called, but he would have like alumni come back to the school, and like we'd spend the whole day just learning about how they navigated through life, their new jobs, and what they're doing. You know what that's called?
Yeah, I remember them days. I used to love getting out of class for free.
Right, and I feel like in the community we should have more of that at different schools. I really wish that like Dr. Hunter could be several people, because he does so much to give back to the community, and he's just simply a principal. And he tries to make sure that everybody good. If a family comes to him with issues or like money troubles, he'll try to help them out. And then you remember we had what's her name, Miss Young. She was a foster parent for like 20 kids. So I feel like it should be more of that within the community, and it should be kind of delegated throughout schools. Like you have certain foster families who go to certain school districts or whatever for the kids that are in like the in school counseling and stuff, who are having troubles at home, and then maybe try to set them up to being in a better environment that it promotes learning and success within the child.
Yeah, I mean, all that and more would be good on the different level. Excuse me, sorry, my words. The different levels when it comes to kids being in different age brackets. Um, I think there needs to be more deeper dives, because we're seeing how, in some of the things that you showed, where it's people that are in the community that are active, that have a public face, but we're also realizing that there's the other side to them. So there needs to be more in-depth research into these people, their behaviors, and in terms of keeping a check on each other to make sure that the kids are safe around these people. Don't just assume because they've got, listen, If Jesus came down tonight and turned around on, back when the whole sort of Michael Jackson and people were like allowing children to go to their houses just because they're a celebrity or doing things just because that person has good standing in the community. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who you are. Even if Jesus came down, he would have to prove to me that he was actually Jesus. And I'd still side eye him because of the way that the world is today. Like,
Facts.
I've got MPs around me that have turned around and said to me about, oh, your daughter can come and stay with me tonight. And, we're having a party and this, that, and the other and a sleepover. I don't give a fuck. Whether you're an MP, a celebrity, or whoever you are, I'm background checking you. I'm finding who you are. I'm keeping an eye on you. I'm side eyeing. Do you get me? And my child is not stopping at your house and doing, time to come home after certain periods of time. Do you get what I'm saying? The way that we're sort of just making the assumption that these people are or continue to be in good standing with the community, we have to keep, we shouldn't have to, but the climate that we're in, we have to double take and check, continuously check. Don't assume with everything that's going on in the world today, just because you've had this person, this friend, that family member for how many years around you, that they're not capable of other things. Because the stories that, Moonflower showed and the other things that we're seeing in the community prove, that these things are going on.
Facts. And I want to welcome Tinjon to the panel. How you doing, sis?
Hey, Tinjon.
Hey, family.
How you
Hey,
doing,
real
love?
quick. I know what we can do as women that may cause a. I'm doing good, sis. Can you hear me? Hey, listen, real
Yes,
quick, 'cause
we
I
can hear
gotta
you.
go. I think what we should bill and put it in legislation for castration. Okay. Put it in the bill for castration because I think it should be legal castration for anybody who touch little children and violate women, young men, violate these young little boys and these women and these little girls and babies. I think they should be castrated, legally castrated. Simple as that. Simple as that. That's all I want to say. Much love.
Much
Thank you for
love,
bringing
sis.
up that video. That's very gruesome and hurtful to see our babies being brutalized like that. Folks that just doing too much to our young babies. For real. Like, this is how come my son can't be with his father. His father acting funny style. I'm not forcing a man to be in the life of a child if he don't want to be in the child's life. Because that helps save my son. My son will live another day. That's how I look at it. If his father's cuckoo crazy and acting all stupid and stuff, then hey, I'd rather protect my son and raise him myself. But that's all I gotta say. Much love to the family. Bye, Queen Castay. You are such a beautiful, and I love you.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much for sharing, Tinjon. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, Tinjon.
And I mean, legal castration would be nice, but they would fall under the category of cruel and unusual punishment. So I like that would be nice, but I don't see that like becoming a thing in reality.
Yeah, because the men would fight us the men will fight us to keep their balls. They're fighting us right now about even wearing condoms. Do you get what I'm saying? Or using protection, or even having a vasectomy. So they're gonna want to keep their balls.
Facts.
There is chemical castration. I don't know if you guys are using that anymore out there. Chemical castration.
Orthodox More, you can hit the link. You said you came in on castration. We're talking about some stories that I showed earlier where a man abused and attacked his 10-month-old, resulting in her death. He AR'd her. Another story where a 12-year-old girl ran away from home twice to her aunt's house, and they had reported to the police that her father had been attacking her as well. And then a 19-year-old girl who confronted her mother about the multiple attacks from the mother's boyfriends, and the mother said that she knew, and she proceeded to fight her daughter about the situation. So that's what we're talking about, and that's why castration is a topic right now.
So I know there's a sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I know this obviously the topic that we're talking about is not funny, but the fact that more came in on the castration just tickled me a little bit.
Yeah, he came in at the wrong time.
He walked through. But yeah, I think there's other methods that we need to look at in terms of chemical castration, in terms of doing more research on what to look out for with these predators, as well as listening to children. Like, if my daughter or any child comes to me and for whatever reason they get a sense about that they don't like somebody, or there's something about them that they feel is off, don't
Yeah.
push those children to be in a space. We as a community have normalized this, the things that are going on, because it's going on unchecked. Do you get what I mean? This is why young ladies have been able to fall through the cracks, because these things continuously go unchecked. And Malcolm X said it in terms of the way that, Black women, Black children are the most disrespected on planet Earth, and it continues.
Yep. Yep. And I'm gonna say this once again. I know I said it on a couple streams, but also watch these little boys that your kids are around, family or not. I'm gonna tell this story again. My cousin, he actually lives up here where I live, and when we were kids, another cousin on his mom's side of the family talked him into attacking me when I was a child. And this continued for several years. His mother found out about it. I guess she had like walked in on it or whatever. And the phrase he would use is, if you love me, you would do XYZ. And so he got a talking to from his mother, but because my uncle and his mother were like kind of, on the rocks and on the way to a divorce, she didn't tell the family or whatever. And at the time I was like 8, so I wasn't really processing everything that was going on, but he didn't tell the family. It kind of got, well, it didn't kind of, it got swept under the rug. And then when I told my grandparents and what happened with my mom's fiance, that also got swept under the rug. But I'm just saying that to say, I was 6 when it first started happening, and he's only 2 years older than me, so that would have made him 8 when he first started doing that. So it's not always these grown men who are perpetrating this; it's also children who learn it from other children. So then you have to see, okay, well, my child learned it from this child, so where did this child learn this behavior to influence my child to touch another child?
I'm gonna share something with you guys. I went through being partially groomed and some molestation when I was about between the ages of 6 to 8 years old. And this was after the period. My parents were married, but our community went through a situation where the churches basically arranged marriage off a whole heap of young people, and my parents were in that set, and they were really, really young. And because they weren't guided and looked after, their situation fell apart. So after my dad left, my mum had to work. So it meant childcare at that time, because my grandmother wasn't well and she was unable to care for me and my brother. I'm the oldest of 5, but obviously when this happened, the others were not even born. So anyway, the babysitter's son started grooming me, being nice to me, giving me things, telling me to keep secrets. It got to the point where the young man tried to penetrate me, and I had to somehow I managed to get loose. I ran and grabbed a kitchen knife because I was scared out of my mind with what was going on. The babysitter at the time, I think she'd gone to the shop because we were supposed to go on a trip to some theme park or something. So she'd left us with the son to go and grab some things. And that's when he made a move on me. She came back to me holding a kitchen knife. Basically, I was screaming down the place because I wouldn't let anybody come near me. When my mum arrived, I basically got the beating of my life. And nobody really ever investigated what had actually happened, why I ran into the kitchen and pulled a knife and didn't want anyone near me. It took years for me to sort of even understand that, because I'd buried it so deep down, and it caused an anger and a frustration at not being listened to as a child and getting beaten for actually protecting myself.
Yeah, I'm so sorry that happened to you. They really should have tried. Like, kids don't just pull knives on other people for no reason. Like, and as parents, y'all, I'm not a parent, but y'all got to do more investigating into your child's behavior, because your child is reacting to something.
Yeah, definitely. Kids are very reactionary, and innocent and vulnerable, and we have to look at the way that we are communicating with our children. We have to learn to come down to their level as well as raising their level as well. This is why in the past why I've spoken about the whole thing to do with sexual health and having the groups and having the safe spaces and doing things like videos that showcase to children if they're being touched inappropriately. That's wrong, because children don't always know what inappropriate touching is. They're children. They're not fully developed. Their brains are not fully developed. For many years, I suppressed that memory, and it caused a lot of anger when I was in my teenage years because of the fact that I wasn't being listened to. Um,
I like to piggyback on that.
Go ahead, Jay.
Wait. Before we proceed, I just want to give a shout out to Chris Logic. She is in the comment section, and I want to say thank you so much for providing the video. I do use quite a few of your videos when I'm making my content. So I just want to thank you so much for the content that you do, and I want you to keep it up. Thank you, love.
Yeah, so that kind of, like I said, I wanted to piggyback off that because that kind of goes hand in hand to what I was saying before I cut off. Is like we got so many classes out there, so many um, meetings that you can go to, but we don't have one for this matter. You know what I mean? We don't have one for this subject, and even if you do look up and find one, you don't find one where you feel comfortable enough to talk about it, and that's really one of the biggest problems. Because when you think about it, you think about a community. It's a group of people that pretty much fellowship with one another. We don't have that anymore. Everybody kind of amongst themselves. Like you don't even have families together anymore. So if you don't have nobody fellowship, and then you don't have nobody to talk to, cousins not close anymore, sisters and brothers not close anymore. So I mean, who can you talk to? You know, and then you don't feel comfortable enough to tell people that you dating, because you never know if that's gonna last long enough. So you don't have nobody to talk to, and the kids don't have anybody that they feel comfortable enough to talk to either, especially with parents that nowadays talk about everything to sisters and brothers and stuff like that. Sometimes privacy amongst kids things is important as well. And like I said,
Hey,
I wanted to piggyback off of that. Like get the kids. We talked about a solution for the problem, but one of them may be connecting the kids. Kids feel comfortable talking to other kids, and that's just a plain fact. And we was talking about this we were talking about this like 2 weeks ago at the union, where you look out for them signs, and kids, like you said, kids don't know the signs of when being touched wrong or whatever. Because I mean, they just don't know. They're so young, you know, and innocent. So
Yes,
just
that is
got
very true. Like you don't know, like a lot of times you don't know who you can turn to, who you can talk about it. Because I had a friend that went to school with us, Jackson, and I confided in her about my situation, and then what, like a couple years later, we fell out, and she threw it back in my face.
I definitely don't remember that, but
No, no, no. I'm just saying it was somebody we went to school with. You know who it is because I didn't told you about her before, but you know who it is.
oh, okay, okay. Now I'm tracking. I'm tracking. Yeah, I'm definitely tracking now.
To answer Tiff YXC2's question, um, when that experience happened, I suppressed it. I buried it for a long time, and I continued to be at that babysitter's home for a good while, and I continued to cause trouble because obviously I didn't want to be there. That boy was threatening me and making my life hell. So after a period of time, when my grandmother got better, it was me and she would look after me. But I realized later on in my teenage years when I started going through therapy and counseling, and you're sort of going into your history, and that memory came to the surface of dealing with why I was so frustrated and had certain types of anger and resentment towards my parents. By that point, I was already working with social services in the teenage sector doing sexual health. So I think maybe subconsciously, um, my experiences might have led me to where I've been in my career. But growing up in the Black community and kind of seeing all the different things that were happening with the young people, I just really wanted to help. I wanted it to stop in terms of, you know, um, working with social services and taking surveys and stuff with young people and finding out their experiences and the different reasons why they were there. When you're digesting all that information as a teenager, I just wanted to be helpful and stop the things that these children were going through.
Yeah, and we need more people out here like that are taking the active step to get these children out of these situations. Because a lot of times, like when you tell, like, I don't know, there's just so many extra steps. Like when I finally told about my mom abusing me, I was at a private school at first, and you pay your tuition at a private school like you do at college. So to avoid losing their money, they put me in like a secret counseling, and I was in that for 2 years. And then when I went to public school and I tried to get into like another counseling or whatever, they had to let my mom know, and then she proceeded to take me to Lakeside. But they were like, my counselor at the public school was like, okay, you only got 3 years left in high school, you almost 18, see if you can tough it out. And I'm like, no, I can't tough it out, and I want to be emancipated, or I want to go to a foster family. And it just is so many extra steps that make it so hard for children to get away.
True, very, very true. I mean, the focus over the last how many years has been taken off the community. I think there's people that have assumed that there's a partial community so that they can go off and do what it is they're doing and make money, but not understanding the gaps that are now within the community. Because I've watched over the years, and I hear that it's similar in America, that a lot of us as young ladies were raised being community minded, and the boys to a certain extent as well. But those that were doing community oriented projects, they've kind of just bit by bit, drip by drip, just sort of like dropped off and then gone into other avenues that benefit themselves but don't benefit the community. So we need a good selection of responsible adults, men and women, that are going to get together and help create these safe spaces for children to be able to express themselves.
Yeah, and then like we do need more people in the community to be helping out. And like one person that comes to mind from the city is Young Dolph. Like every year, he does like a holiday giveaway. He gives out like, food for the children, food for the families, new clothes and all that stuff. But like he could have taken it a step further to like, create like an organization. But I feel like um other people or celebrities from the city who are more affluent than Young Dolph, like Yo Gotti, who still lives in the city, need to start doing things to help out. And that was one of like the major beefs between Young Dolph and Yo Gotti, is the fact that Dolph took the time out of his day, money out of his pocket to help the community. Meanwhile, Gotti is just like, okay, that's the poor people problem. Now I'm rich.
But then even like this shows the level of selfishness that goes on, because we see, from the civil rights movement to nowadays, the amount of people that have got into higher levels of wealth, and what they're choosing to do with it. So even at a community level, like for example, my pastor um, is in university learning about theology, learning about scripture and everything else. But also in his spare time, he's out now at night going to the local Aldi's, going to the local Greg's, going to the local shops. He's made a deal with them to basically at the end of certain evenings come and pick up, goods, foods that they're going to throw out that, are no good to them. Their insurance is covering it. So at the end of the day, there's a whole heap of food that's being dashed away that could be used to help families. So he goes and collects those things, puts them in his car, and there's a number of families in the community that he goes and delivers food to. Do you get what I'm saying? That's something really simple in terms of speaking to Asda. Well, Asda is your Walmart. Walmart owns Asda here, which is one of our supermarkets. But whether it's your Dollar Tree or your Walmart or your Walgreens or your CVS, and coming to some kind of negotiation with them about products that they're going to throw away or things that they can, because they get rid of stock for different things all the time. Sanitary products, tampons, menstrual pads, toothbrushes, toothpastes, socks. There's different things even in terms of us being consumers, and the amount of materialistic things we buy. Right now at home, it's the end of the year. Me and my family go for a period of sort of reflection and deciding what our goals are going to be for the future. But I also go through the kids' clothes and see what there is that I can donate and put aside and take to the charity shop, or go down to the women's shelters with the bags of clothes for the kids.
Yep.
So there's always something as individuals that we can do. It's making a choice to do it and how you're going to participate, and networking and speaking to other people about, you know, where you can help, or, what time, whether you've got 30 minutes or an hour to sort of participate in something. Like I keep my door open in terms of the kids that are around me locally. So if they're, because, there's a lot of biracial children that don't have their fathers in their lives, and their mothers struggle with what's going on and knowing how to manage the kids, or sometimes they just want advice on how to do their hair and stuff.
Yep.
So they can drop me a message, drop me a text. The kids speak frequently to my daughter, and if they have questions about different things that they're dealing with, I will talk to them, and about the different situations that they've got going on. I don't know whether in America, I know like here in with everything that's been happening with the pandemic, they've opened up a 24-hour children's counseling hotline, to be able to service what's going on. So I don't know if they have the same kind of things in America
I
for
don't believe
kids to be
so.
able to access.
Yeah, I don't believe that we have that. And then when we talk about these big corporations in America, like Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Kroger, they don't want to give out whatever they have left over that they're going to throw away. And they tell their employees to destroy said items so people can't go into the trash and get them out. But it's like, why are we destroying these items? Why are we pouring these items out when there's so many struggling people? And you'll get fired if you try to give like what's going to be thrown away to someone else. You'll get fired. Like this one lady on TikTok, like it was a trend on TikTok, and they were talking about like the kind of heinous things that corporations do to keep people from getting certain things from the store that they're throwing away.
Hmm.
And Build a Bear has a policy where at the end of the day or at the end of the season, when there's certain bears run out of season and stuff, they make
Mm.
they make the employees cut up the bear, cut their head off and stuff to make it unappealing so nobody would go in the trash and take it out, even though they've already gotten a tax write off for it. And so it's just so many despicable things that happen with these big corporations in America that make it much, much harder for people who want to give back and help to be able to do that.
I mean, in terms of that, it's not an. Don't get me wrong. I understand those things are going on. At the same time, there still needs to be people that are pushing against it, because
Yep.
don't get like the things that my pastor is doing now. It's taken a good few years to sort of get to that point of some of the churches or people getting together as a community to have meetings with these people, and sometimes embarrass them on TV,
Ooh.
what I mean, to get them to make promises to change their minds and stuff like that. So it's not been an easy feat. Anything that I've been involved with over the years, it's never been easy. It's always been something that's sort of taken months, years to sort of get off the ground. But just because you try it once, don't give up. Go back and keep trying, because if you don't at least make the effort to try, you don't know what could be.
Yep. Yep. You got to have determination. You got to have resilience, the ability to bounce back from that first no. And you need to market yourself and what you're trying to do to the community to get support, because once you start garnering large numbers of support, then those corporations are forced pretty much to give in to your demands.
And to me, it's like it's ridiculous that bears you're tearing apart and destroying and cutting up bears. What's wrong with if they've got their insurance has covered them? So really and truly giving the bears to somebody to be able to take to an orphanage or some children's homes, or donate on Christmas to some kids, should not be, technically it should not be this hard. Do you get what I mean?
Right. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. And we have so much to give away as far as America. We are the richest country, yet we lead in
Not the
homelessness,
richest.
poverty, starvation. Like a lot of people don't know that in other countries they have those feed the starving kids ads for America. In China, they be having the little white boy come up there and he be looking all dirty and hungry, and they be like, "We gotta feed the kids in America." Yes, they are the most wealthy country in the world, but they are still struggling with poverty among children. Like people don't even know that they have feed the hungry children for America. And we have all this stuff that we throw away and destroy and pour acid on and just mutilate to keep from helping homeless people. When, like in California, that whole situation going on where the homeless people were like getting sick and stuff over the wintertime, getting COVID, and they have to go to the hospital or whatever. The hospital put the homeless people out on a stretcher outside the hospital because they didn't have insurance.
It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I mean, we've got to go as far as, at one point in the pandemic, parents weren't getting anything, any sort of support with what was going on. And one of the young black footballers who they'd absolutely trashed and was throwing bananas and calling them monkeys,
Mm-hmm.
all these things, he was one of our biggest advocates in going to Parliament, going to what you guys call like the House of
Representatives and Senate. Yeah.
Representatives, yeah, our members of Parliament, and petitioning and getting the community involved, and he's helped to set up some food banks and close receipts and stuff, and talking to some of the bigger corporations. So even in getting the celebrities on board with, because they get sent free stuff all the time, do you get what I mean, and
Mhm.
encouraging them to get involved in the community more can help.
Yes. We need so much more to make this place to make this world a better place, or this country per se. But I don't know. The world right now is vile, it's sick, it's disgusting, and the things that a lot of these companies and higher ups turn a blind eye to in the name of capitalism and money is just pathetic.
I mean, when you
I
were
like
talking
I like some
earlier
of the
about,
things y'all said.
sorry, go ahead, Jay.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
But what were you saying?
No, go ahead.
No, I said I like some of the things that you two were saying. I'm at the store right now. I like some of the things that you two were saying, but like about the like as far as the stuff they doing been like wrong as far as cutting the head off of the bears and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I definitely agree that our country could be doing more and be doing better, but I also believe that it starts with every individual. And I think I heard something about the thing where about Yo Gotti giving back. So
Yeah.
my I got a different perspective on that, and like I said, it's just my perspective. So I believe everybody makes their fortune individually, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you do with your fortune is up to you, you know. So I'm not saying that he shouldn't give back or that he should, but I'm saying by him he's not obligated to do it basically. You know what I mean? So it's
Mm-hmm.
like because I mean it's like I'm not putting out any disrespect to nobody's name, but I like the stuff about uh Yo Gotti. I mean the stuff about Young Dolph doing, as far as giving out the turkeys and stuff. I didn't know anything about that until he died. You know what I mean? I never seen
Yeah.
him give out a
I
turkey.
know
The
for
only
years.
and everybody has been saying that, but I have never known that. And I lived in Memphis my whole life. I mean, I done moved out of town for about a year, but that was it. I've always lived in Memphis. I never heard anything about it. So I mean, like I believe everybody everybody do what they want with their own fortune, and it shouldn't be nothing held against them for doing that. I mean, everybody has for the most for not how I'm putting this. I'm a little off. So with with Young Dolph, we know that he's not from Memphis, but he was raised in Memphis. So that means 9 times out of 10, he has the same chance that everybody else do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if we want to if we want to make the country better, it all starts with the individual itself. You know what I mean? So if I'm down and out, then I can't help my son better. I can't help that community that he grew up in or the community that I grew up in because it all starts with self. And I think most people don't realize that if you can't do shit for yourself, then you can't do shit for anybody else. And a lot of people, like when I look around in Memphis, even from people that I went to school with or that we went to school with, that I just thought was gonna be like the shit, like next mayor, next congressman or congresswoman or something like that. You
Yep, and
know,
they went downhill.
they yeah, they hit downhill, And I'm not knocking anybody for it, but it's just it's what I thought because of the what I seen in them in school or the image that they put out. You know what I mean? So I just believe that everybody make their own choice and everybody have to do for self, and that kind of what ties the country, makes the country better as a collective. And programs got like I don't know who said it, but programs have to be started from the lower because we know that people that's up there, like that goes back to that influence thing and that giving back. We know that we know that they're not doing it or they're not doing enough of it. So I mean, we got to start with ourselves. That's going back to what I said. I was gonna buy a bunch of gifts and fucking pass them out next year. I mean, that's my ideal, and that's the ideal I think of. You don't have to make it to the top to give back. I mean, shit, you can be an average citizen. So that's just my perspective on it, and I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, we understand that fully. Like, I'm not saying that your God is obligated to give back, but I mean, I'm just saying he has more, he's more affluent than Young Dolph, and I'm just pointing out that somebody who has less money than he does, uh, gave back and he refuses to. And then also, you probably never heard of it because Young Dolph, he normally set up shop in South Memphis, and we from the Haven, so we don't really be around where Dolph be setting up shop, but I saw him lose a couple times. But you must be at the unit.
No, I'm off today. I'm just out, doing last minute Christmas shopping and shit.
Oh, okay. I was hearing all that noise in the background and that intercom. I thought you was at the unit.
Oh no, I'm off Mondays.
Yeah, the other thing that came to mind is the forms of the way that celebrity and popular people is kind of changing as people have got more into streaming when it comes to things like YouTube. So things like, okay, for the bigger, for some of the bigger YouTube channels that are out there, obviously, when people are getting super chats and money, it's up to them how they're running their channel. But I've seen some of the smaller channels that I watch and support that have taken a percentage of what they've got from super chats and cash apps. One of the young men in I think is in Morocco at the moment. He does a lot on sort of like 90 Day Fiance and stuff like that realm. And he used the money from the super chats and stuff to buy pens and pencils and book bags and things for school, for the kids to be able to do things from home, calculators and stuff. And he went down and took everything down to the school and delivered it and made sure the kids got it. So there's other ways that we can be giving back and doing things within our communities. I'm not saying you have to donate everything that everybody
It's big,
receives
right?
amounts, depending on whether you have super chats or cash apps or things like
Give me
that.
some
But it's an
negative.
idea in terms of taking a percentage and putting it aside towards a
You can
charity
cheer
within
up.
your local area, or donating
Hey, tell her
to
cheer
a
up.
youth group that could
There you go.
potentially take the kids out for an evening, or like I was
Want
saying
this?
about buying toiletries and nappies and bottles, or do you get what I'm saying? Jay, Moonflower?
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
just some
I'm here too.
suggestions for those that are interested. Find something locally in your area,
Oh, he
girls'
dropped.
club, a boys' club. If you know families that are going through something, um, pay it forward.
Yep. So Queen Cascade, what you got planned for Christmas this year?
It's just more so, well, we were supposed to go down by my parents and spend some time with the grandkids on it because we usually do certain things with them, but unfortunately, um, my sister's caught COVID, so
Mm,
the house is isolated at the moment. So,
yeah.
in terms of celebrating with the family that side, we're moving those plans. All being well, everybody's healthy and comes out of it the other side to New Year. But we'll just be chilling and watching films and eating popcorn, and we'll video call everybody and might do a live. I don't know. I just want to have fun, spend time with my daughter, see some of the family. We've got restrictions coming back in with everything that's going on this side with the pandemic. So
Hmm.
I'm just happy to be alive, happy to see another day, happy to, you know, continue to evolve and just prepare for really, what's to come with the new.
Yep. Yep.
What about yourself?
Nothing. I think I'm gonna cook a dinner for me and my roommate.
Hmm.
Jackson, well, no, you're gonna be at home for Christmas. Never mind. I was about to say you can come over, but you're not gonna be out this way. But we're gonna cook here.
You don't know that.
Um, but I do though. You're gonna be in Memphis,
I might not.
and then
You
you
know.
also not gonna have to be at the unit for this week. I don't think. But I'm not a big Christmas person. As I said before, my folks used to force me to go to midnight mass.
Hmm.
So I'm not a big Christmas person. I'm not a big, holiday person like Easter and shit. Mainly
Hmm.
because I was forced to go to church and stuff. But Halloween is pretty much the only holiday that I will celebrate wholeheartedly.
Okay.
I think I might buy. I think I'm gonna get the cats some Christmas sweaters.
Oh gosh. Are you gonna get them ugly Christmas sweaters?
They're gonna be cute Christmas sweaters, and they better like it. They better not tear them up because I'm gonna be mad.
Oh, you should take a picture once you get them in there. Just take a picture. I'd love to see that. That'll crack me up.
Definitely. I'll once I get them, I'm gonna bring them on the live stream and I'm gonna show them, and I'm gonna get them little hats and stuff. Oh, they're gonna be so cute. Yes, you are. You're gonna be adorable.
I mean, when Tejan came on earlier, we were, and just in terms of the stream and the things that we've been talking about, um, we understand, like those that have watched it, understand that there's things that are going on, but more of you need to see the truth of what's actually taking place and
Yep.
then help and support where possible and keeping an eye on the men, women, and children that are within our communities. We can't continue as a community to bury our head in the sand. Sorry. We can't continue to bury our head in the sand like an ostrich, like this isn't going on, like these things don't exist.
Yep. Yep. You gotta take action. You can't just be sitting back and like letting other people do the work, okay, but you still need to do something that can help out. Like even like you said, if it's just donating to like shelters or the Goodwill. Cat, that is not your goddamn food. Get out of there. She always eating his food.
Yeah, so always it is food.
She's such a fat cat, bro. Like she act like she don't get fed every damn day. And this cat will eat all day if you let her. And I don't want her to get like obese and be sick and stuff. And she'll sit there and eat until she throw up.
Hmm.
Like I think she addicted to food.
She addicted to food.
Yep.
She,
I'm gonna take her to a damn cat counselor or something.
yeah. I mean, even in you saying that about the counseling, I know mm, there's some situations where people are far gone out there that counseling isn't going to resolve. But as a
Right.
community, we need to start taking our mental health more seriously. We need to start taking the mental health of our children more seriously so that they can be productive adults in this world. And as Moon's been showing today, we're seeing that behind closed doors, everything that glitters is not always gold. There's too many times that we see on social media, we see these happy pictures of moments in time. And sometimes those moments are beautiful and wonderful moments. But we also have to acknowledge the crime, the abuse, the molestation, the raping, the other things, the other side, which is not pleasant. It's horrible, it's disgusting, but
Yep.
it's there. And until we start taking action, and not just action on YouTube and saying what we're saying, but the physical action in the real world to start combating these things. Yes, there are those that, it's their job to do YouTube. This is their specific realm. And that part I understand, because that part in getting parts of the information is important too. But the physical work, the actual physical work needs to be done. There's too many of you guys that are sitting on computer games and you're building these little structures and building these villages and building these communities within these games. We need you to start transferring those skills and actually take responsibility for your community. It's not enough anymore to just have Jordans or the materialism. We see
Yep.
what it's led us to now. We see where we are at this point. We want better for our children. And if you're really about just having a better world, better circumstances, better quality of life, that comes with action, not just words. Like in the last how long we've heard people talking about how do you show your love for black women. It's also how do you show your love for black children? How do
Yep.
you show your love for black boys? How do you show your love for black girls? It's not about the words, it's about the actual action.
Yep. Yep. Your actions speak louder than your words, bro. They sure do. Your actions speak way louder than your words. And if you're gonna sit here and turn a blind eye, then you're just as bad as the perpetrators.
And part of the problem, not the solution.
Yep.
And we've got enough of the problems, as people can see.
But yeah, speaking on mental health, y'all, I take my medicine every day. Don't be ashamed to take your medicine. I take like 3 mental health medicines, one in the day. Well, now it's been upgraded to two, so two in the daytime and two at nighttime. Don't be
Listen,
scared to get your medicine.
there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong at all. And just remember, there's different ways to sort of work on your mental health, whether it's prescription drugs, whether it's um, on the holistic side, you know, therapy in terms of counseling, because people forget there's different types out there. You've got ones for relationship, you got,
Mm-hmm.
you know, people forget that coaches, work coaches are, or life coaches, that's a form of therapy.
Yep.
Do you get what I'm saying? People need to start accessing these services, as well as we need more people to be inside of those professions to be able to cope with the demand.
Yep. Don't be scared to go to a dang therapist. A shrink is not a white people thing. Go to the freaking shrink. And frontline, how is building structures for the Hilton company the an example of you being a builder in the community? Like make it make sense, because they you could have kept that. Yep. But I'm finna get ready to eat, and then I'm finna clean these kitties' litter so they can go potty, and then I'm gonna get them a bath today. I'm gonna come back on live when they all wet and they fur all thin. I'm gonna show y'all what they look like wet.
When have you completed your other stream on the other subjects that we were talking about with the questions and stuff? Are you
No,
yet to
I didn't complete them. I wrote them down. I should
okay.
have did them last night, but I went to sleep on them because they kept talking, and then I had some things I had to do, so I just left it up while they were talking, and I went to sleep.
Girl, I know. I had a cat nap and then I woke up and then they were still going and I was like, Lord, no.
because it was just I wasn't there. I was knocked out.
You get what I'm saying? But sis, thank you for your hard work and highlighting these issues because these things are going on and it's important for us to discuss. And it's not easy, but it has to be done. Um, and thank you for, just being beautiful, Moonflower.
Thank you, and thank you so much for your support. And yeah, when I first saw her video, like when I opened up my YouTube this morning, her video was the first video on my timeline. I started
Mhm.
watching it, and as I got to like shit, the 12-year-old girl had me in tears because she was like, I remember being like that, going to my grandma's house, having my nana come pick me up, and like my nana cool and all, but she a bystander. Like she'll go in her room and turn the TV all the way up so she don't hear the arguing, so she don't hear the fights.
She checks out.
Yeah, and then my granddad, I done told him multiple times what happened. And he still be like, well, I don't remember you telling me that. Are you sure you're not just hiding the ass? And I'd be like, bro, what? What?
The cognitive dissonance within our community is real.
Yes, and I remember crying to my nana, like, I don't want to go back to my mama's house. Don't make me go back. I want to stay here. Don't make me go back. Like, I've been living with you my whole life. I don't need to live with her. I'm good. Let me come back. Let me stay here. And I can stay there for a couple weeks. But then I would have to go back to my mama's house because my mama always was threatening to call the police on my grandma, saying that they kidnapped me and all this other stuff. And then she said she was going to call the police on me and have me sent to juvie. You know, at the time I was a child. So it didn't process to me that I'm not going to be the one to go to jail. She is. But she really had me like in fear. And she was like, oh, if your brother try to help you, I'm gonna call the police on him too, and he gonna go to jail. And mind you, there's a 6-year age difference between me and my brother. So I'm 12, and you talking about a 6-year-old like that. Like you gonna call the police on a 6-year-old for trying to stop you from being on a 12-year-old?
I mean, this is the thing. When we're talking about mammies, because people have different ideas of what mammies are, and a lot of people look at mammies in terms of the historical context when it comes to old Hollywood films and things like that, and Big Mama's house type situations. But at this period in time, for us as women, we are redefining what it means, and there's a spectrum.
Yep, there sure is. And she definitely on that damn spectrum. That's why we don't fucking talk. Like, I can't. Like, every time I do try to talk to her, she always so fucking rude, bro. Like, she's so fucking rude. Like, I just be like, bruh, you mad at me because you fucked up your life. I didn't fuck up your life. I'm doing well for myself. I ain't never asked you for shit. Ever.
There's a
Everything I got it out the fucking mud. Both my cars, I had to get my fucking self with nobody fucking help me. I had to take Ubers back and forth to different car lots to get my first fucking car. Then when I got my second car, I had to go up there and get my second car because somebody had hit me in my first car. So I got that shit out the mud. I got kicked out the fucking house, and not once did she call and ask how I was doing, knowing that she know her daddy is the way that he is. Not once did she try to check on me. And she was just telling people, oh, she probably ran off with some boy, she hot in the ass. Like, no, bitch, your parents kicked me out. Why is you sitting here spreading lies? Like, tell the truth for once in your life.
It blows my mind to see women behave like that, because I could never imagine treating the baby that came out of my body, that I am here to protect and love and make sure is guided. It just blows my mind.
Facts. I could never treat my child like that. She showed me everything I'm not supposed to do. Never could I treat my child like that. Pick niggas over my kid. The fuck? Put my hands on my kid. That's why I don't even believe in whooping kids. Because
This is
motherfuckers
why
take whooping too fucking far. They get to throwing shit at you. They get to breaking your shit, like your bones and shit, punching you in your fucking face and be like, well, I'm just disciplining you. No, you're not, bitch. I ain't even do shit. And that's the thing about it. She had me thinking I was such a bad fucking kid, bruh. And I swear I didn't do shit because I wasn't allowed to do shit. I wasn't even allowed to go in my front yard. I had to ride my bicycle in circles in the backyard. I could not go nowhere. I couldn't have no fucking friends. I couldn't have birthday parties. Like, and she really just had me thinking I was such a bad fucking child. And like at the time, I was like very, very suicidal. I was cutting myself. I was burning myself. I tried to get hit by a car. I tried to kill myself. Like that's why I have like very bad drinking habits because I started so fucking young to cope with the shit that she was doing. And it was just like, it was so fucking much. Like, just thinking about it makes me so mad. Like, I want to cry right now. Because, like, I don't care what nobody say. I hate that bitch. I hate her. And I feel for any other young girl that had to go through the same shit that I went through. And
this is
she treat me and my brother completely different because she say that she wanted a son, but she didn't want a daughter, so he the child that she wanted.
so her projection of her experience. This is why it's really important for men to understand that not every woman is meant to be a mother.
Facts.
Some people are not built for this.
She said,
It's
I ruined
very,
her life, bro. I didn't tell you to get pregnant. I didn't ask to be here. I ruined your fucking life, bro. Nobody told you to get pregnant at 19. Oh, I should have aborted you. Well, you should the fuck have, bro. She be saying that shit like the shit gonna hurt my feelings. It don't hurt my feelings no more. You should have.
this is why it's important for young men and young women that are getting into relationships to have the real conversations and do the work. Go to therapy, go to counseling before when you're having these discussions about children and stuff like that. You really need to go into therapy because anything that you've kind of experienced through your childhood is going to come up in reflections of your children growing up and trigger different things. So it's important to get your mind together, your body together, your soul together, because the journey as a parent is fucking hard. And I'm not, what I'm saying, Moon, is not to diminish what you went through. By no means. Your mum was out of line. She was out of order.
Yeah, and that's why I'm in counseling myself right now because I don't want to have a kid or be in a relationship with somebody that I really care about and fuck around and act off my trauma and hurt somebody I really love. That's why I'm in counseling myself. And I'm glad I got myself in counseling so fucking early.
That's good, sis. Breathe, breathe. Let it out, but breathe. Because it's important. But this is why therapy for our community is important. A lot of the older generation messed up in different ways and it's come down the line, and people want to call it generational curses or whatever. That's what you choose to call it. But it's up to us now, those who are adults, to do the work, to see the past has a presence on this present day. And in order for us to do better for the future, and Moon is right to get into counseling. There's nothing wrong with it. I go through it at different periods. I've put my kids into it in different periods because I'm not perfect. I'm not out here claiming to be perfect. And when I pick up on certain patterns and things and look and think, okay, well, maybe that's affected the kids in certain ways, I will speak to them and ask them. So it's very important for us as adults moving forward to get our mental health together as much as we can. There are some giants that we're going to have to live with, and there's some giants that we can slay. But it's
Yeah.
the part of the journey of getting to know us. The longest relationship outside of man Woman, child is your relationship with yourself.
Yep. Yep. It's important. If you don't have insurance, if you can't afford therapy, go get you some books about psychology and try to help yourself. Get some books about self-help and meditation and things you can do to help mitigate if you have anxiety, help mitigate if you have depression. And then once you get, the insurance or the money you need for counseling or therapy, then go see a professional and you lay out what you've done to kind of circumvent the situation. Like when I started going to counseling, I had already taken some steps for myself to help circumvent. So when I went to see both my counselor and my therapist, I laid out what I thought I had. I laid out what I did to circumvent it, and I laid out how it was going and how many times I've like relapsed back into like the suicidal mind frame. I know what triggers me, but once I get triggered, like I can't stop. And that's the problem.
But this is the thing, sis. You've taken the step in understanding that there's an issue and you're working on that. And over time, through therapy, you will get to know what your triggers are, and that will better help you manage them in the future. And when you're heading towards being triggered, you will be at a point later on where you know how to diffuse how you're feeling. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's very important for all of us in different ways to really sit back and reflect on ourselves, because the projection of what we are and what we carry, we will pass on to those around us and the children that we're bringing forth, the children that are here already.
Facts. And then when you grow up like I did and like many other girls did, you associate violence with love. And that's why I done been in so many abusive relationships since I started dating, because I associated that type of violence with the love that I'm supposed to receive, that type of psychological abuse with that's how I'm supposed to be talked to. When somebody cares about you, oh, it's just tough love. And for me, it's so important for me personally that I get better. Like, that's just something I really strive for.
Learning how to love ourselves is very important, because we are living in these bodies.
Facts. And if you can't do it for yourself, find somebody you can do it for. Whether it be your mom, your child, a brother, a sister, a friend. If you can't do it for yourself and you can't get the strength to do it just for yourself, find someone that's important to you and do it for them.
Good, sis.
Yeah, I feel better. I feel better. But yeah, if you can't do it for yourself, you need to find something or someone you do it for. Like right now, I do it for myself, but I also do it for my cats. Because my cats need me. Those are my babies.
And this is the thing, people forget that, people are talking about having children and things like that. It's actually a good idea and a good thing in terms of having your cats. Even in terms of us as adults, we're talking about having children and all the rest of it. Learn how to manage a plant first, learn how to manage an animal first, learn how to manage other things in your life yourself before you take that journey into parenthood.
Oh
And
man.
definitely to John. Oh, I hate crying so much. It makes me feel like a bitch.
Crying so much, it makes me feel like a bitch.
Hi, Moonflower, Queen Cascade.
Hey,
Hey,
Um,
love.
Hey, girl.
hey, you touched on something that really resonate with me. That's why I told you, man. To me, you like my lost sister. Like I think my mom had you and then lied and adopted you. My mother, hey, she did the same thing to me. She chose her Mexican boyfriend over her kids. You know, we had hot dogs and porky beans while her man had steaks and stuff. We had my brother went to school in his own. He had problems going to school because he was dressed a certain way. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't buy him new shoes, but she bought that Mexican a whole bunch of new shoes. Like paid $300-400, for him. And then for my brother, that's why I said I took it upon myself and made sure me and my brother was straight when I went and got a summer job. I made sure we were straight. I put clothes on layaway to go get my brother and me some clothes. But my mother hated me because she felt the presence. She knew I was going to progress. See, she messed up her life. I had nothing to do with her life being messed up. See, so I get what you said on a lot of things, but I'm gonna tell you something because I gotta go back and do this Instacart. I'm letting you know right now, the day that you choose to have kids, you're gonna be a bomb ass mom. You're gonna be a freaking bomb ass mom. I'm telling you, you're gonna fucking rock. That's all I want to say. So yeah, take your time whenever you want to, but when you do, I want to be at the baby shower and all the good stuff. But you go ahead and get it all out, and I believe we should all go to therapy. My little baby should go to therapy. You know, for the trauma he went through it. I hate that he went through certain traumas. Because he at that stage where he's learning now not to hit himself. You see, um, because he used to go to the distinct and to headbutting himself on the floor or something. Because he was just so easily hurt or angry or something like that, or he couldn't do certain things. And he was 2 at the time, but now he's out of it. So I'm grateful for that because I would sit there and talk to him straight in the face. But when I had my daughter, I said I was gonna be different. And my mother, all these years, that woman tried to put me on. She tried to get my daughter taken from me the day my daughter was born. She tried to have my child taken from CPS. See, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any type of drugs. Okay. And I think what she tried to do is she tried to put her face in my life, call CPS on me, and try to have my daughter taken from me the day she was born because she was born premature. Me feeding my baby organic food cost another CPS and welfare child check just to find out the freezer was full, but everything says organic. Everything I had was organic. See, so when I learned that my mother called CPS on me and made up all these stories about, I went with my daughter's father, but she lied and said I'm letting him come to the house and he got a gun. Like for real, you live all the way in Thomas Paine Square. I'm in San Francisco over on Silver Avenues. That's like a half an hour away from where you at. And you're calling CPS on me. I didn't do anything to you. So yeah, these women, these old bat women are very bitter towards their younger daughters, which I never understood that. I'm proud of my daughter. She is bomb as hell. Like for real. Like anything my daughter needs, she'd get anything from me because I'm very proud of her. You know what I'm saying? I did stuff that my own parents didn't do. You know what I'm saying? I kept her in private schools. You know what I'm saying? I told her what was more important. I told her she has to deal with this world. So you gonna have to be top notch with everybody else. You don't get to be below the bottom. So I get it. And I'm just gonna tell you, you keep up the good work. I'm glad you got this stream going. I'm behind on my stream, but you keep it going. I'm so proud of you. And Cascade's like the aunt. I really love the fact that yeah, Queen Cascade's like the aunt. She's the enforcer. You know who I want Queen Cascade to go after? This woman's from this woman claims she's from Jamaica. Her name is Mystic Dogo, and she's been targeting me a lot. You know, I've been trying to explain to Miss Uganda about what's going on right now when it comes to the to what's happening to the women, the pregnant women. You know, please don't start. You know, basically quit putting down single mothers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are doing things that a lot of people are not doing. You know, people without kids are not doing. You see what I'm saying? And we're doing some amazing shit as single moms. Like we're freaking amazing as single moms. And it's not to be promoting it. What it is shit happens, and we just gotta we had our baby, so we're not looking down on our baby.
Oh, I think your sound's gone out, Tejan. See if she comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I'm sick of y'all putting down black men. R. Kelly, you guys are the reason why R. Kelly's in prison. All these her African sociopaths and
Oh, your sound's gone again, Tejan.
like she's from Jamaica, but they target me, right? They hated me a lot because I follow Cynthia G. You know, she was on her stream talking about Cynthia G, teaching people that this is what Cynthia G's doing.
Oh, she dropped off. But
Well, there's on what Tejan was saying. Let me just say quickly that
you know, she holds her own, but in this case, it's like, dude, you don't even know what you're talking about. You're making up these lies, and sure enough, every time I get on here, it seems like Mr. Uganda get me on his channel just to have me come up on a panel, just to bring all these demons up there, just to attack me. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I'm like, I'm kind of done because here once these women, they're bitter. They don't have any children. They're not married, and they have nobody. Right? And they're old. They're like in their 50s, and here they have the nerves to sit there and put us down. You know what I'm saying? Or they talk this stupid stuff. Oh, you gotta. The tradition is you have to be married, and if you're married, it's a better life. And I said, well, you could be you could be a married single mom. I mean, there's a bunch of that going on. No one wants to talk about that. You know, what
Yep.
about the father? If he's putting hands on his wife all the time or his ex-wife all the time, what makes you think he's not gonna put hands on his kids? Because he hates the sight of her. You don't, but you want us to be accountable for some things that we had no control over or we hadn't done. And there was all this talking about me and you're talking about executing black boys, all these stupid things that's going on, you know. But that being said, one day we'll catch them. Sugar Babe, not Sugar Babe, Juju Bean. She sometimes pop up on any of these channels. She's one of those mammies. She's actually one of those mammies. Uh, you know, but I definitely let y'all know one day. But I'm not going back to Miss Uganda's channel anymore because I just felt like he's put me in a situation where I'm being attacked. And she didn't do nothing. I mean, she wasn't doing nothing but acting retarded. But she keep putting my kid's name in her mouth. And I told her one day I'm gonna punch her in her face. You know, you don't have any kids, so you don't use my kids. Don't mention my kids, you know? You don't have the right. You're a fucking failure as a female at that. She's a failure as a female alone. So while you know what I'm saying, looking like a man, so you think like a man, but you have the nerves to sit there and say that my kids are living off welfare and they got monkey paws. You see, you hear this? So, you know, but she was putting down Black Woman Spear. She was putting down like, oh, these are the women here that's getting innocent men put in jail. Dude, it's like, forget this, man. I'm done. I'm freaking done.
Unfortunately,
but I just wanted to tell you,
when you get to that age, with some of the women that are in our community, Tejan, just put yourself on mute a second for me because you're.
Oh, that's right. Okay, no, I'm gonna actually exit out. I want to listen to what you guys got to say, and then I'm gonna finish working. Okay. I love you
Okay.
guys. Talk to y'all later.
Love you too.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Um,
Um,
2 points that I wanted to make really fast is um, bullying can cause PTSD in your children. So you need to pay very close attention to your kids who are being bullied. And I'm gonna be really honest with y'all. The week after Thanksgiving, I was gone off here for a while because I tried to OD. But listening to Suave and Domo and Taz and Nyla, it really helped me to keep going. And you too, Queen Cascade, listening to you being on the panels and stuff, it really gave me the strength to like keep going and keep trying. So I just want to thank all of y'all, to everybody in the comment section, everybody on the panel, for helping me in ways that you didn't know.
Sis, anytime. I'm sorry to hear that you're experiencing that. At the same time, you've got a lot inside you that you need to release in going through this journey. It's okay to cry and let it out. There's nothing bitch made or anything about it. You're a lady, you have feelings and emotions, you're human, you've experienced a lot, and that's okay as well. You're
Thanks.
taking the steps and the journey to heal yourself. Be proud of yourself. I am so, you will never know, Moonflower, how proud I am of you.
Thank you.
You will never know how proud I am of you, Moonflower, for the steps that you're taking, for finding your voice. You're beautiful. Don't let anybody tell you different.
Thank you. And I also want to welcome Chris Logic to the panel.
Hey, Chris.
Hey guys, hey Moonflower. I can't stay for long because I'm still at work. I'm still not out of here. And I kind of have to talk a little low, but this is breaking my heart. Like I'm just watching and like this is so heartbreaking. I'm so sorry that you had to go through that.
It's okay, Chris. I'm working through it. I'm working through it.
Yeah, I say definitely get the therapy, work through it, and just know that it's not your fault. Like, never try to take your life or anything like that. You didn't do this to yourself. Other people imposed this onto you. So just know it's not you that's the bad person. You're not screwed up. Nothing's wrong with you. It's the people who failed you, especially as a child, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so always keep that in mind.
Thank
Um, And yeah, and I love this platform. I love your platform. I think a really good idea for you would be to start like a Patreon where you could have like these sessions where, women could come, they could talk about some of their more traumatic experiences without trolls, without people, just watching and watch. It could be like a really safe space. And I think that would be a really good place to, talk about it. Because sometimes talking about these type of things with other people who've experienced it as well, it's like it brings you a new level of understanding and comfort in a lot of cases. So,
Yeah, I think about doing that. That sounds like a pretty dope idea.
yeah. So I have to jump off of here, but I just wanted to call in and tell you that I love you. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm so proud of you. You're strong and keep getting the help. And yeah, you're gonna be okay.
Thank you so much, Chris. I love you too, and you have a great rest of your day.
All right, bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you, sis. Just to bounce off what Cries Logic was saying, those of you who are aware, I've started my channel. I've been uploading clips and different things on there. I do want it to be, I've got two channels. One's Queen Cascade and the other one is The Queen Cascade, with the in the front, THE. So please subscribe to both, because basically what Cries Logic was talking about is what I'm going to be doing on one of the channels. I want to be able to have some private sessions with us ladies to be able to talk about what's going on, our experiences, to start releasing, to start healing. I've uploaded clips and stuff for meditation, for healing, sound clips, meditation clips, anxiety clips, tapping, clips, different techniques for stress release and anxiety while you're on the go. Feel free to download those or go to the people that I've corresponded where I've got those from. Start doing your affirmations, ladies, in the morning when you go to sleep at night. Sound baths. Start treating yourselves with the self-care that you need. Yes, it's important to give piece of us to to the community, but it's also important to look after ourselves. So once I sort out, because I'm still learning about YouTube. So when I was doing some of the sessions back during the pandemic, it was like on DMs when they were doing the whole group call things. But I want to be able to do that now here on YouTube. So once I work out how to do the private link sessions, I'm still reading up on everything. I'll start those sessions off in the new year.
Okay, that's good. I just subscribed to you.
Hey, Moonflower.
Hey,
Hey,
Nika B,
beautiful.
how you doing?
I'm
Hey,
fine.
Nika.
And hey, my queen, Cascade. I love you guys so much, and it's breaking my heart to hear
I
this.
love you
I'm at
too.
work, and something in my spirit told me to come up here and tell you, Moonflower, that you are stronger than you think you are, and your ancestors don't play about you. And I told you this before when I first met you. Um, I'm here for you, and if you ever need someone to talk to outside of you two, um, I can give you my email or anything like that, and we can exchange information. I'm gonna
Thank
give
you
you a
so
little
much.
thing.
And I'll
I'm
pop.
gonna I'm gonna tell you something about myself that I don't normally tell people, but I'm gonna tell you this because I feel like the strength in you, the fact that you were able to be vulnerable in front of a whole bunch of strangers, is one of the reasons why I say you're stronger than you think you are. Um, I've dealt with anxiety to a point where I went from because I deal with health anxiety and somewhat of social anxiety, but I'm also very empathic. So at one point in my life, like I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I thought I was dying. I went from like weighing like 160 to 120 in a month. Um, and when you're in a family, they say, "Oh, you just got to get over it," or "You'll be fine, just pray."
Yep.
And I wasn't feeling any better, and I took the necessary steps to get help. It was the first time I ever took any kind of medication to at least ease my mind because I wasn't sleeping. I actually do have kids, and they saw me like that, and that's what hurt me more than anything. Because they saw their strong mom, who usually handles everything. Even my husband, they never saw me like that before. I say that to say this. Don't feel ashamed. Don't feel like you're alone. Don't feel like this is something that, like, you're the first. We got your back. As women, we need to show more support to other women, and understand that we all have our stuff. We all have our stuff. And sometimes people might not know that we have it because we don't show it. We laugh a lot, we joke a lot, and those are the ones that you have to adhere to, that you have to check on the most, because we're over the people like us. We too busy checking on other people that nobody tends to check on us.
Yep.
So this is why it's important, like what Queen Cascade said, it's like, we have to give positive affirmations to ourselves. We have to be more willing to be more open and get like mental illness like help, because I can say that I have mental illness. I have anxiety, and I suffer from depression sometimes, and it's a lot. So I don't know you like that, but I felt a really spiritual connection with you, and you're not alone. You're not alone. And I really don't want you to shorten such a beautiful, talented, intellectual, whole life of your own, because you can't get it back. And we need you. We need somebody like you here. We really do.
Thank you so much, Nika B, and I'm glad that you're feeling much better. I also dropped my email in the back chat as well.
See,
No
this
problem. I'm
is
gonna check it out now.
it's
I'm not
beautiful to
even
hear your
gonna
voice,
lie to
Nikki.
y'all. I'm probably gonna have to go because my anxiety getting really bad. I'm getting itchy and stuff.
Okay, should I play this before we go?
Yes, play it, play it.
Um,
You want to know what your self-worth is like. Look at all the things you are tolerating in your life right now. This will show you what you think your value is. This will show you what your worth is. And this will show how you are undervaluing yourself. So my question to you today is, what are you tolerating? What upsets you, but you think you have to shut your mouth and take it? What are the words you are eating instead of saying? What is the foot that you're tapping instead of putting it down? What are the things that you dislike about your life right now that you have given up, resolved to just be quiet about it, to just take it? What are the expectations that you've had, yet have had to lower in order to make others around you feel comfortable?
Facts.
You got this, Moonflower, and take the necessary break that you need. I know how you feel. There's so many times that I took a break from YouTube, and I just started. you know, it's
Yeah.
very it pulls you, it pulls your energy, and it's very like it gives you anxiety because there's so much stuff that's going on. So it's okay to take a step back. It's okay, and we'll be waiting for you when you get back. That's all.
Thank y'all.
You're welcome so much, and like I said, I'm gonna email you. Um, And if you ever want to talk or anything, I'm here. And it's 100% confidential.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start like doing more of these streams, but on my channel. So if y'all want to subscribe, Moonflower Speaks is my channel. I'm not sure how to post the link or whatever, but it doesn't have any like videos on it yet. But it has my email attached to the page as well.
Okay. I'm giving you a virtual hug. And
Virtual hugs.
I'm giving you a virtual hug, Queen Cascade, as well. I love you
thank you,
both
sis.
for free. And I'm here, okay?
I
All right.
think
I'm going to have to get back to work, but I just wanted to, speak to you, okay?
Okay.
You
Well,
take
you
it
have a
easy,
good
okay?
day at work. Thank you.
You too. You too, babe.
take care, Nicola. I think it's time for us to start doing, just like Moonflower is doing her individual work, it's for all of us to be doing our individual work. And like Nico was saying, you know, let's build a sisterhood. Let's come together and have our groups and start to build each other up and support each other the way it's supposed to be. We've seen all the bad examples of what it looks like not to have a sisterhood. So I want to encourage that. I'm sending peace and love to everybody in the chat. Moonflower, thank you for doing this.
Of
Take
course.
care of
Thank you for
yourself.
coming.
Um, I
Thank
love
you
you
so much
dearly.
for coming to like basically all my panels. It's very nice to have you here. And I love you too.
Take care, sis.
I
Mamas,
will. You too. Have a nice holiday too.
you as well. But we'll talk soon. All right.
Okay. All right, chat. We're gonna get ready and head out now. Everybody, I hope you guys have a great rest of y'all's day. If I'm feeling better later, I'll try to come back later on tonight.